Meek Mill getting 46,000 plus extra revved up before Game 5 of this World Series, tied at 2 games apiece. Noah Syndergaard on a World Series mound for the first time in 7 years. And Kyle Schwarber and these Phillies trying to do what they've done all postseason, really all season, and that is respond. Yet to lose back-to-back games this postseason. Then after they were shut out and no hit yesterday, 5-0, it's Syndergaard to get what essentially is going to be a bullpen game going.
Yeah, tough start when you think about he knows he's only going to go possibly 3 innings. Here's the thing to look for, though. Syndergaard is a much different pitcher. He's going to pitch 4 pitches, but he does not hold runners on. So if the early part of the lineup can get on base, look for the Astros to take that base. And it starts with Altuve. And there's the mixed breakdown of the 2-seam fastball and slider. Doesn't throw 98 anymore, but he mixes on both sides of the plate. And really, I'm going to be interested on the first at bat. The last bout of film that I watched, he tried to throw sinkers into Altuve. Altuve has yet to have a home run this postseason. If he misses in, Altuve could get his first home run tonight.
Yeah, a little bit of film you're talking about is when he was with the Angels, Syndergaard, and faced these Astros twice earlier this year and pitched pretty well. The lineup tonight looks like this: Altuve, Pena, and Alvarez at the top. And then it's Bregman, Tucker, and Gurriel, with David Hensley drawing another start. The rookie does the DHing. Chas McCormick out of the 8th spot in center, and Martin Maldonado back in doing the catching. Jordan Baker behind the plate for the first time in a World Series game. He's got a hitter-friendly strike zone. With the crew chief Dan Iasonia down the left field line, part of this 6-man crew, 7 when you include the alternate. These guys have done a nice job on the biggest stage. Now the defense behind Noah Syndergaard. Brandon Marsh has done so much to stabilize things in the outfield. He came over at the same time from the same team with Syndergaard from the Angels. Bowman Stout on the left side, Segura and Hoskins on the right, and JT Realmuto in there as he is every single day and pretty much has been since opening day.
Well, Altuve has not hit anything away all series. And when they came in, he made Nola pay with a base hit, and when he got going, he stayed in balance. See if Noah Syndergaard stays away.
This best of 7 has become a best of 3 to decide a world champion in 2022, and off we go in Game 5 with the ball away. His team split the 2 games in Houston. Phillies won 7-0 in Game 3, cranking 5 home runs, only to get no hit in Game 4. Altuve pokes one to right center field. Brandon Marsh on the move to the warning track at the wall, and it's off it. Jose Altuve, opposite field power. He's not going to stop at second. He's got a triple. What a start for the Astros.
Well, he almost got his first home run. He went to right center, which is a good sign for a guy who's been trying to pull everything. When you're out of sync, you try to pull this ball. When you're on time, you hit where it's pitched. And this ball was smoked. Now this little bobble right here cost an extra base because Altuve had stopped. And then once he saw that, went to third. Perfect flat swing on a ball away. Not trying to get that top hand to hook it.
Officially ruled a double and an E8, allowing him to take third. And now it's Jeremy Pena chasing a first pitch breaking ball. Infield pulled in. We're 1 batter into the game. It's an Astros offense that scored 5 runs in the 5th inning last night. That's the only inning they've scored in out of their last 21. Now an 0-1 pitch. Pena up the middle and through, and the Astros on the board just like that.
I don't know that I've ever seen the first hitter get on third and the infield come in on the second batter. That tells you all you need to know about how they're viewing this game. I mean, you've got to give up the out for a run in the first inning, but here's the trouble that Marsh had. He tries to pick it up, and then here's where Altuve stopped and then saw it and went to third. So just think about that. I mean, second batter, infield in, and Pena easily gets the ball by the infield.
And so this Astros team that has tied this series and tries to get it headed back to Houston on the verge of a clinch. Waste no time. And it's yet another early haymaker in this series. It's been defined by him.
Syndergaard does not hold runners on simply. It's a field day for anyone who wants to steal a base, or at least it has been over his career.
Pena, a good runner this season, 30 stolen bases and 33 tries against Syndergaard as Alvarez fouls it back. Yordan Alvarez, last night 1 for 4, but he went the other way a few times, and he looks to you like he's on the verge doing something big.
Yeah, he's shown me what you have to do to make adjustments, and if you're in pull mode, you're going to stay in a funk.
On an 0-1 pitch, takes very high, ball 1.
And Dusty Baker talked about what a smart player this guy is. Very cerebral and just doesn't show a lot of emotions. Just goes about the game in a casual, ho-hum way with power and average that he's displayed on the year.
It's a rare combination. Yordan Alvarez, 306 average, 37 home runs, almost as many walks as strikeouts. The way that Dusty Baker describes him is he's a hitter, but with slugger's power. Another way, a young Barry Bonds. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is Jose Altuve after he starts the game with a double. Goes up to Alex Bregman, relays some information. Bregman's on deck, and now he goes back and checks something on the video and has a little bit of further info for his buddy. Syndergaard paying close attention to the base runner. This is a very different Noah Syndergaard than last pitched in the World Series in 2015. He was 23 years old. He was overpowering. Beat the Royals in Game 3. The Mets' lone win in that Fall Classic. Now the velocity's not there like it used to be. He was the hardest thrower in the National League. But as he's come back from injuries, he's reinvented himself.
He has, and I'm sure this is a tough spot for him. He hasn't pitched in quite some time and knows he's not going to be given a deep game to try to work anything out. So the pressure on him is like this is his 9th inning. The first inning he's trying to pitch like a 9th.
2-2. Full count. The last pitch 12 days ago in Game 4 of the championship series, and he's not thrown more than 35 pitches in a game this postseason.
They almost have to send the runner here on a 3-2 pitch, trusting Alvarez.
He rarely strikes out. Pena does go. Alvarez pokes one along, third foul.
Because what this does now is put extreme pressure on the defense on the shift. See, if the ball's hit on the ground, you got to imagine there's no third baseman, so Stott has to cover third base because Bohm is playing second base right now. So if a ball's hit on the ground and Pena reads it right, and let's say it's hit to the shortstop side of the ball, there's no protection at third base. So that's why you got to start the runner.
Astros like they did in Game 2, getting on the board within 4 pitches. 1-0 here in Game 5. Another 3-2 pitch. Pena runs again. A swing and a miss. Throw down. What a catch and tag! Real Muto with a cannon. Bryson Stott, the quick hands for the strike him out, throw him out.
Well, this wasn't a steal. This was a throw and run. So he's just going to make sure he goes home. And a great throw by JT. You nailed it right on the button. And you see where he blocks the bag. Well, you can't block the bag if you go in feet first. It's going to hurt a little more, but you know what runners slide head first and which ones don't. That's a big moment here for the Philadelphia Phillies.
That man, JT Realmuto, Gold Glove Award winner, controls the running game as well as anybody. A strike on Bregman. See what information he perhaps took from Jose Altuve.
I mean, you could put a little star right there, and we may go back to this inning and that pitch and play and go, that could have been the turning point for Philadelphia.
He had 2 on, nobody out. Slugger at the plate. 2 outs on 1 movement. And now 0-2 on Bregman.
But if it's a straight steal, you're going on the pitcher. It was basically a 3-2. You're running on the pitch. That's a big difference.
0-2. That's the inning. So the Astros get on the board. But Noah Syndergaard, with a little help from his battery-mate Real Muto, puts his foot down. Phillies come to bat, down 1-0 after this. Climb out of it in Game 5. Schwarber, Hoskins, and Real Muto. All these guys getting the cartoon treatment tonight. Harper, Castellanos, and Bohm. And then it's Stott and Segura and Brandon Marsh. The beard looks just as good in cartoon form. So Justin Verlander hauled that baggage with him into Game 1 of the World Series. 0-6 with a 6 ERA lifetime in the World Series, and it looked like he was going to exercise the demons right then. He started Game 1 going 10 up and 10 down. He had a 5-0 lead, but then he gave up 3 in the 4th and 2 in the 5th, and things kind of unraveled.
He's got the mix. He's got the 4-seam fastball that he'll throw. The slider curveball breaks up. Gives the hitter a different illusion after he's put that fastball on the top of the zone.
His first pitch of the game is a fastball. He gets the high strike on Kyle Schwarber.
And that's huge because that's where he wants to go. We saw and he saw Javier, his teammate. Now the Philadelphia Phillies have 36 straight hitless. That's
at bats.
At bats.
Yeah. Schwarber turns on a ball. Deep right field and gone. Of course he did. Punch, counter punch, again.
No longer 36 hitless.
No, they snapped that, buddy. Well, the Phillies set a World Series record in Game 3 with 5 home runs. They entered this game with a World Series record 0 for 36 that you're talking about. And then Kyle Schwarber leads off the game following the no-hitter with a home run. And Rhys Hoskins climbs in. The last no-hitter in the postseason, also in this ballpark, Roy Halladay in 2010 in the Division Series. What did Brandon Phillips do the next day? He hit a leadoff home run for the Cincinnati Reds. History repeats itself, and now Hoskins just fouled.
Well, the old saying, when you get no hit or when somebody dominates you, the hitters will tell you, well, tomorrow's got to be easier because the guy we faced yesterday was nasty. Well, the guy they're facing now typically is pretty nasty. So I don't know if it's getting easier, but they've already improved on what they did yesterday.
0-2 to Hoskins, very high, 1-2, and we go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Kyle, you took a fastball, then hit a fastball. What's your game plan against Verlander coming in?
Just get him in the zone. Great pitcher out there. We got to keep grinding on him. It's going to be a, it's going to be a tough one. He's a good pitcher, so we just got to keep going.
Kyle, thank you. Joe, back to you.
1-2 to Hoskins. Ken is into left center field. Yordan Alvarez is there to cut it off for the first out. And another look at Kyle Schwarber's leadoff blast.
Well, a fastball up. We talked about Verlander likes to pitch up, and look at that tomahawk swing. That's how you get on top of a fastball. Now, the one thing they weren't able to do, because Javier's fastball had a little extra life on it, they were underneath the fastball. So how do you make that adjustment? Get on top, and they did.
Now, they saw over 60% fastballs in the game last night. It wasn't just Javier, but the guys that came out of the bullpen pumping fastballs in there as well. And a lineup that has been good against fastballs throughout the year, with a chance at redemption tonight against another guy who's going to throw a bunch of them. Here's JT Realmuto fouling it off.
One thing Justin's been through it all, right, is his long career. He doesn't have to overthrow. A couple balls have been laced in the first 2 at-bats. And the one thing that a pitcher has to do is remember, okay, that's over, and now start making better pitches with my fastball. Don't have to overthrow it. And those were a little bit more late life that Justin is typical. He's a short strider, over the top, high release, backspin on his 4-seam fastball.
One of the best of this generation, without question. But so much of what any player is remembered for, good or bad, fair or not, comes from what he does on these autumn nights. He's got another shot to shine when it matters most. Check swing from Real Muto, and the count is 1-2. 8 starts in the World Series, 0-6 with a 6.07 for one of the best ever to do this. What do you make of that?
Well, it's just a passion of trying to undo every moment that doesn't go your way, right? And you got to forget about it. And that's the hard part, because you're asked about it all the time. It's like, yeah, but it's everything's great, but yeah, but. And that's the one thing about baseball at this time of the year, it gets magnified.
Altuve's got it. 2 gone in the first.
Like a perfect example is if you only got 2 World Series starts and you threw 2 clunkers and you never pitched again, well, you never have time for that to work out. This sample size is a little bit bigger, and every time he goes out, people are going to ask the same question over and over again until he has that moment. And that moment has been close. It just hasn't been finished in the World Series.
Speaking of moments, how about this one? Justin Verlander, Bryce Harper. The chance could be for both of them. One after a first pitch fastball. When they faced off in Game 1 of the World Series, Harper singled on a slider, struck out on a high fastball.
The one thing Justin Verlander will always produce is a lot of foul balls, especially in fastballs up. He had 19 foul balls, the Phillies did, 27 total. So if he's making those quality pitches and those hitters are not squaring him up in play, he follows it up with that really crisp breaking ball.
It's another fastball. And this is how the Astros have attacked Bryce Harper. Tom Verducci told us right off at the top, 80% of the pitches he's seen in this World Series have been heaters. We've seen other people try it. It's just a matter of executing it. And for the most part, the Astros have. Here's a 1-1. Harper takes a fastball low.
Well, the one thing that Harper does, and he does it well, I mean, he's slugging on breaking pitches, hitting .333 on breaking pitches, so he really does take that away from most pitchers.
On this 2-1, he watches another fastball miss. What a souvenir to take home from a trip to the World Series game. On 3-1, Bryce Harper. Okay, 3-2. Jordan Bick a little bit all over the place.
Thought they might have missed the one down, and he gave him the one up. This one's above the zone, and that is not what any hitter on Philly is going to want to hear. They do not want to hear a strike called right there, because that just makes Justin Verlander doubly tough.
It's hard enough, these hitters are saying. It's one of the best ever to do it. His 3-2. Back up there, but misses, and he's walked Harper. And it brings up Nick Castellanos, who had one of the key plate appearances in Verlander's Game 1 start.
Yeah, specifically remember the fastball beating Castellanos to the barrel of the bat, and then he got up really a one-handed swing, breaking ball down in the zone for that base hit, and that really, I think, kind of got Verlander off the tracks a little bit, shocked his system with 2 outs, and then went on to score a couple more, and then of course tie the game up later.
But with a heavy dose of fastballs last night, he struck out all 3 times. See if Verlander goes with that script. He does. First pitch, 0-1. talk about all these massive swings and momentum in this series. Rarely, though, has it come immediately. It's kind of been like one game, massive swing one way. Next game, massive swing the other. Here the counterpunch came in the bottom of the inning. You add it all up, and these teams tied at 2 games apiece, tied at 16 runs apiece. It's first game in this series that one of these teams hasn't opened up a 5-0 lead.
It's been a good one. It's been definitely different.
Different is a good word for it. And wacky. Castellanos climbs the ladder and sends this one in the air to left center field. Alvarez is on, and that's the inning. Kyle Schwarber, for the 51st time this year, goes deep.
You want to see a Schwarbomb? That's a Schwarbomb. That's a Schwarbomb.
Simply by playing Fox Bet Super 6 for free. Simply grab your phone to download the Super 6 app and enter your 6 picks in tonight's World Series contest for a chance to win. 6 correct picks could turn Big Papi's money into yours. Kyle Schwarber with his 5th home run of the postseason. After 46 to lead the National League during the regular year. And after an inning, tied at 1 as Kyle Tucker leads off the second. Tucker's big game in this World Series was game 1 when he hit a pair of home runs. He's gone 1 for 10 since.
And Noah's got to be careful. First pitch, he loves it. He loves the swing, and he's looking to do damage on the very first pitch.
Syndergaard lets it go. Tucker fouls it off.
That's the thing. You know, the scouting reports, interestingly enough, in a series where you're facing, the team in the postseason, some things just don't change until you make them change the scouting report. And right now, for the most part, most of these guys are kind of living right up to what they normally do in the regular season.
It's kind of all out there now, right? Through with 4 games. Who's going to make the best adjustments? Who's going to do so fastest?
Ball down.
1 ball, 1 strike. For Syndergaard, it's been a career of adjustments at this point. All that promise early on, but then a torn lat in 2017. Tommy John surgery, pitched only 2 innings the last 2 years combined before signing a contract with the Angels this year, and then coming to the Phillies at the deadline. It's behind 2-1.
And this will be the most challenging game that the Astros have offensively, because I don't think one hitter, well, maybe one hitter sees the same pitcher twice. Maybe. Could happen in a 3rd inning depending on what they do here. But for the most part, these hitters are going to have a different look every time.
On 2-1, Tucker watches the spinner for a strike. And to your point, in the bullpen-heavy games for the Phillies, so if you want to qualify that by the bullpen has thrown more than 5 innings, that's happened 4 times, and the Phillies are 4-0. Kyle Tucker leads off the second. He can't lay off the high heat.
Well, this is the 2nd strikeout on a fastball up. 4-seam. And seeing 2-seam action out of Syndergaard, and then raising the eye level. The unorthodox strikeout by Alvarez, which led to 2 outs because they threw the runner out, and now Tucker above the zone.
A little bit of a throwback to the earlier Noah Syndergaard. He's been mostly 2-seam this year, and he pours in a strike to Gurriel, who had 2 more hits yesterday and is hitting .348 this postseason. No strikeouts in 47 plate appearances. On an 0-1. Pops it up on the infield. Real Muto for out number 2. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. A grand slam for your budget. And by Applebee's, all veterans and active military receive a free meal November 11th. 2 gone second inning, and David Hensley to the plate. Getting another chance at DH. You've got Aledmus Diaz, who's 1 for 22 in the postseason. Trey Mancini's 0 for 17. And so Dusty Baker doesn't have a whole lot of choice. He's got a guy who started 8 games total in the major leagues, including Game 3 of this World Series.
Yeah, I was going to be interested to see how they approached this game. Dusty did, because Diaz had hit a home run off of Syndergaard in Anaheim, but he's really been struggling at the plate.
And this is what Hensley struggled with in his first start in this series, that breaking stuff. Waited on this curve, lofted it down the line, and a souvenir.
The Astros did some damage on 2 strikes yesterday. There weren't some pitches that were made, and that one right there was not a pitch you want to see with 2 strikes. So Phillies pitchers are going to have to be a little bit better against this stingy offense, and a lot of those big hits were really part of that 5-run inning when Nola was kind of in control until that 5th inning.
Yeah, half their hits yesterday came with 2 strikes. 0-2 again. Good take. Ball 1. Isn't that just kind of who the Astros have been through this stretch?
It was on full display in the 5th inning, because it started innocently and ended with a bang.
Syndergaard looking for a 1-2-3 second.
Start this over the plate and catch the back part of the plate with a breaking ball. Chances are he swings.
1-2. Oh, he got a lot of the plate, but got a swing and a miss. Noah Syndergaard has 4 strikeouts. Middle 2 in Game 5, all tied up at 1. 6, 7, 8 for the Phillies against Justin Verlander, and a tie game here in the 2nd. Alec Bohm leads off. Pops the first one that he sees straight up. That high fastball from Verlander leads to a first pitch out. Go get your game on at MLBshop.com. Authentic on-field caps, tees, hoodies, and more. All your postseason Astros and Phillies gear can be found at the official source, MLBshop.com. Well, Verlander pounding the zone. He's got first pitch strikes on all 6 hitters, and now faces Bryson Stott.
You need those in these games. You need easy outs. You need quick action just to get into the feel of the game. And of course, we already documented Syndergaard's not going to be in much longer, so it doesn't matter as much to him, but it does to Justin.
First pitch curve lands for a strike on Stott, who gathered a lot of information when these guys went at it in Game 1. He had a 12-pitch walk. On this 0-1, Stott hit a fastball, and he sent it in the air, right side of the infield. Altuve and Pena. It's the shortstop, Pena.
See, those are no stress. Those are beautiful. You know, even the outs yesterday in the no-hitter, man on second twice, 2 outs, a little bit of stress for Javier. Both those outs were recorded on jam shot pop-ups. No stress, no pressure on the defense. That's the kind of action you want. The more you have to make bang-bang plays or diving plays and bullets all over the place, it's not going to be the game for you much longer.
Yeah, those 2 guys get more fly balls and pop-ups than any other pitchers in baseball. As Gene Segura pounces on the first pitch and yanks a base hit into left field. It's been a rough World Series for Gene Segura. Just his 2nd hit in his 15th at-bat. That keeps his 2nd inning going.
I'm sure he had a game plan at about 4 o'clock this afternoon saying, I'm going to go up there and look for a fastball. I'm going to get on top and I'm going to smoke it. Sometimes those game plans work, and sometimes when you get to the starting time, you have different feelings or what ifs, but pretty evident of what Justin's trying to do early, and that's pound the strike zone early and see what the Phillies hitters are doing.
8 for 8, first pitch strikes. Brandon Marsh out of the 9 spot. Takes a ball. First time he's gone behind 1-0. Brandon Marsh, the youngest player on the Phillies at 24 years old. He's had some good moments throughout this postseason, including hitting one of the 5 home runs in Game 3. On a 1-0. Takes a fastball high. From Verlander to Marsh. Down the left field line, foul.
Marsh had that big hit against Verlander on an inside-out swing that just got inside the third base bag for a double. Not the intended, that wasn't what he was trying to do, but he just got beat in with a fastball and got rewarded with that double.
That game turned on its head as kind of a sign of things to come in this series. Just when you think you got it figured out, it all changes. Verlander retired the first 10 Phillies in Game 1 and had a 5-0 lead, only to see that all go away in the 6-5 loss. 3 balls, 1 strike on the 9-hitter. And the home run hitter, Kyle Schwarber, waits on deck.
Well, this will be the best pitch Marsh gets all night, I think, off a Verlander hit. So we'll see if he can get on the go here with his bat on a fastball. More than likely, that's what Justin's going to throw to him.
That's what Marsh has struggled with. Leaves that fastball upstairs, and back-to-back 2-out base runners from the bottom 2 in the order. And here comes Kyle Schwarber.
That flat bat, top of the zone, heater. And his timing was absolutely perfect. Got foot down, not much action in the front side, and just tomahawked it.
As quick a response as the Phillies could have had after the Astros got 2 pitches into the game in the top of the first.
Well, what makes Schwarber so tough is he does see a lot of pitches. He does swing at a lot of pitches, which is kind of like an oxymoron, right? Because you think, but he gets deep in the count after getting 2 strikes and somehow battles into the, 4, 5, 6 pitch at bat. Well, he didn't waste any time in that first at bat. Second pitch, tie game.
Selectively aggressive, got a fastball and cranked it. Now is a chance to give the Phillies the lead. Segura at second and Marsh at first. First one from Verlander is a spinner that lands. Strike 1. But they asked Kyle Schwarber last night about getting no hit in the World Series, and he cut him off and he said, I really don't give a bleep. He said, nope, moving on to tomorrow. And that was the end of that talk. And boy, did he turn the page. Schwarber.
That's in.
Takes the ball. Back-to-back breakers. Within the World Series struggles for Justin Verlander has been a doubling of his home run rate from the rest of his career. That's the 10th one that he's given up in 9 World Series starts. On this 1-1, Schwarber leaves it face high, ball 2.
Well, you see he's dialing up the RPMs for the miles per hour, trying to beat Schwarber with the fastball, and he's been missing up now. And that's where Justin, when he's comfortable, he doesn't miss that. If he misses by an inch.
Ball, 3 balls, 1 strike. Walls closing in on Verlander with his 46,000 rabid fans.
Well, I would expect this pitch to still be a breaking ball. Even behind 3-1, Justin knows there's a base open, even though it's not first.
Here it comes. It is a breaking ball. It misses badly, and the bases are loaded.
We've seen this a bunch of times in the playoffs. 2 outs, nobody on. We talked about how hard is it to get a 1-2-3 inning. Well, it's been pretty hard in exception of yesterday. But first and second, nobody out. First pitch swinging, base hit, and then uncharacteristically a couple walks.
Well, nothing ruins that dull roar you were always seeking on the road, like just one little base runner, which in the regular season is simply a guy out there, but you say in the postseason it's a rally.
It is a rally. And this is a good meeting at the mound here. You got Hoskins, who is aggressive, likes the ball down. And he got a good swing early on a fastball against Verlander. See if he comes in with a slider first pitch. Preying on the aggressiveness of Hoskins, wanting to make something happen here at home. You can use the home crowd against the hitter, too, in a big moment where he wants to electrify the crowd.
Buckle up. Yes, and he did.
And that's just a great pitch, and a veteran that knows the circumstances. Just walked the last 2 hitters. Right on right. Good slider command with that pitch, and he got a good big swing and a miss to start off with the bases loaded.
A guy who's been at his best here in front of his home crowd. Hoskins chops one along third, foul, and it's quickly 0-2. 5 of his 6 postseason home runs. 11 of his 12 postseason RBIs have come these special nights in South Philly.
So this is where you really have to trust your catcher. It's an 0-2 count. He's thrown 2 sliders. You could try to bust him up with a fastball and get him to swing at the top of the zone, or you could bounce this next pitch 0-2 to just see if you might get him to lean out and fish a little more.
Verlander throws.
A great pitch, and he trusted his catcher, one of the best behind the plate. So now he's got Hoskins leaning out over the plate, seeing a breaking ball, swinging, foul one off. Now he sees that version off the plate. He gets a take. You got one more pitch to make in that same area with the quality break to get a swing and a miss off the plate.
Penn already going. Ryan Stanek 1-2. Way high. Took off on him. 2-2. He got the first 2 outs of this inning on 3 pitches. Segura singled. Marsh walked. Schwarber walked. 2-2 on Rhys Hoskins.
And here you got to tell yourself, Hoskins going to try to stay off the pitch away, but Verlander wants it away.
That's where he put it and got a swing and a miss. Verlander's out of the bases loaded jam. This is sponsored by Taco Bell. Steal a base, steal a taco is back. And we are back in Philadelphia. This place rocking one more time in 2022. Tied at 1. Both teams getting a first inning run. And on to the 3rd we go with 8-9-1 coming up for the Astros. This is Chas McCormick.
Well, they've been pitching him pretty tough. He's yet to really hit something hard in the air to right center, right field.
0-1.
Something, of course, he did in Yankee Stadium, but show you that last at bat. It's been one big moment for the Phillies and Noah Syndergaard, and he hasn't looked back since. And I think that last inning was a huge inning for Justin Verlander, and if it clicks something in, much better for the Astros.
There's a fly ball the other way, but weakly hit, and Nick Castellanos puts it away. And take us through that at-bat. So key, you think, for Verlander.
First pitch, touch was great. Bases loaded. A guy want to do some damage at the plate, and he makes a perfect slider pitch. Comes back with another good one. Shifts his eyes down below. This next pitch he totally overthrew. But when you overthrew something gets calm and makes another pitch, that's a huge moment. And I'm telling you, for a starting pitcher, he went from a calm, easy inning to high stress. And if that doesn't settle the nerves, nothing will. And I think Justin Verlander will be a different version from this point on.
Maldonado with one away takes a strike. We asked Dusty Baker before the game, what are you going to be looking for with Justin Verlander? He said, you know, he's Verlander. But, and he said, he doesn't always have it right away. Sometimes it clicks in an inning or two into the game, which would line up exactly with what you're saying. Ball and strike on his battery mate Maldonado. Noah Syndergaard, meanwhile, the hope for him was to get 11 outs in this game in a best case scenario. It wasn't looking good. 2 hitters in, 2 pitches in. It was 1-0. But he has retired 6 straight. Right here, right here. It's fouled in the box. Six straight and 22 of the 28 that he's faced in this postseason. Two and two. We had game 3 was supposed to be on Halloween. I feel like some of the people have exercised the right to take the costumes that play for Monday. Yeah. World Series game always a good occasion to dress however you want to dress.
That was legit.
That was sweet. 2-2. Maldonado flies it to center. No big deal for Brandon Marsh. 2 up, 2 down. For every home run hit this postseason, T-Mobile is donating $5 grand to Team Rubicon's hurricane recovery efforts. And when you text RELIEF to 595959, T-Mobile will donate another $5. So far this postseason, stacked up 90 home runs, which adds up to $450 grand in donations for hurricane relief.
I mean, seriously.
So good.
That's as good as it gets.
You know what he's saying? He's saying, I didn't get to wear it on Halloween. And when do you get to wear this on November 3rd in Philadelphia? I'm breaking it out. If not now, then when?
Now, Noah Syndergaard cannot be tricked into believing that ball to right field. He still has to throw an off-speed pitch, first pitch here to Altuve.
He doubled off the top of the wall to start the game. That's outside ball 1.
That was a good pitch. And what I mean by not getting tricked, the tendency would say, okay, he just went to right field. Let me pound him in. But when you make a mistake in and you pound him in, that's when the strength of the left field power comes in for Altuve.
Back-to-back really good pitches.
Great pitch. Outside part of the plate. That's how you slow down on a very aggressive hitter. See, he's ready to hit from right when the ball comes out of the glove of the pitcher.
1-1 game. 1-1 pitch. Right back there.
It was in this similar situation. I really believe that it was a setup pitch that Nola threw, meaning setup, get him in to get him out of way, that Altuve got that big hit on a pitch in with 2 strikes and got that rally going, or continued that rally.
Goes back outside off the end of the bat. Candy hot Bryson Stott and a strong arm to finish off a 1-2-3 third. 9 straight retired by Noah Syndergaard, and JT Realmuto, who was part of that with his caught stealing in the first inning. Truck to play that, didn't you?
Oh, I got it in a loop.
You love him.
Yeah. I'm not shy about it.
No, I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't love the Philly fanatic? Realmuto starts the bottom of the third, takes a strike from Justin Verlander, who found it using the slider to get his way through traffic, leaving the bases loaded last inning.
Yeah, you got to stay on your off-speed pitches, meaning mechanically sound. Fastball, you can get out of your mechanics and throw it harder and get wilder, and that's what he did last inning.
That's out.
That's when he's good. When he's on plane, we talked about his short stride for a tall guy, but when he reaches back and tries to extra RPM it, he's been missing up, and that's not the Justin Verlander, obviously, that is going to win the Cy Young in the regular season.
It will be his third. His 1-1 to Realmuto is fouled off Maldonado.
You sure?
You can hear home plate umpire Jordan Baker asking, "Are you good, Maldy?" Fraternity of masked men back there. Third one of those guys at the plate, the hitter.
Still can't get over JT. I mean, he's basically played almost every game since what, September 10th, 6th, 8th, somewhere in there?
April 5th, you know, right? It's like 230 more innings caught than anybody else in baseball this year. Do you think that that has anything to do with this recent stretch where he's not been good at the plate?
I mean, I don't know how it doesn't. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's handling every inning, handling information, different pitchers. It has to have an impact offensively when you've caught this many games.
On a 2-2 from Verlander, Realmuto's down swinging, and he's now 1 for his last 14 with 9 strikeouts.
I mean, it absolutely has to. I know he's the 3 hitter for the Phillies, and he's been a monster all year, but he's not going to say anything about it. I guarantee you, he's one of the most in fit, in shape studs, according to his manager, Rob Thompson.
He's the first out of the 3rd and brings up the guy they call the showman. One more chance for him to rise to the occasion in front of these fans. They still got him on the ballot. Bryce the Governor. First one from Verlander is sliced down the line, foul. A big contract that he signed. He had a list of things that he wanted. First thing that he wanted was length and stability, and he certainly got that with the 13-year deal. Wanted a chance to win. He's gotten that chance finally in his 4th year. But at the base of it all, he wanted a city that felt like home. And in Philadelphia, he's found the perfect match. Bryce is the son of an iron worker. He's shown the importance of hard work and hustle, and it's matched up so well with his city that admires those qualities and embodies those qualities in a lot of ways. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the fact that he's got another 9 years left, it's a beautiful thing. Bryce Harper in Philadelphia, it's just right. On a 1-1 pitch.
Ball, no.
Wanted to cut it loose, but checked his swing.
Well, in the beginning of the series, I thought it would have to test the patience of Harper, because I really thought that they were going to, meaning the Astros, make it very difficult for him to get going. Well, he got that big home run, but for the most part, patience has been fairly decent for Harper.
Fouls this one back, 2-2.
Because when you're having the postseason run you're having, you want to keep being the guy, right? And you can get out of yourself and swing above the zone and make some mistakes mechanically, because until the guys behind him got hot, you know, when you're, again, we talk about strategy, you got to make the guys behind Harper beat you. It's no disrespect to Nick Castellanos or Alec Bohm. None. It's just that's where you want to go. Right-hander on right.
All at the end.
Full count.
And the game that the Phillies won, there was a big hit, couple in that part of that. Both guys contributed, and that's what you have to do when you see this team and what their strengths are.
Harper's seen 11 pitches, all fastballs from Justin Verlander. His 3-2, another fastball and another walk for Bryce Harper. 4th one issued by Justin Verlander. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Chevrolet. Electric vehicles for everyone, everywhere.
So normally in this situation with an aggressive hitter, you might be tempted to throw a breaking ball and induce a double play. But that breaking ball down, again, with the swing plane that we've seen out of Nick, could be to his favor. Justin has beaten him to the barrel and fastballs. I don't think it's a time to change right now.
I know you did not like that pitch in Houston game 1. Breaking ball, he dug that out.
Yeah. Just based on the previous pitches. There was fastballs that he was underneath and fouling. And I'm sure he thought he was going to get a swing over the top strikeout. And it just ended up being a one-handed kind of low exit velocity dart that he threw in the left field.
Yeah, it helped trigger that rally. Down 5-0. It is a fastball, and it's a strike. (13 out of 14). First pitch strikes for Verlander, which makes it surprising that he's then walked 4. Ties a career high in the postseason in his 35th postseason start. That's a pick at short by Jeremy Pena.
Wow. That's probably the best ball that Nick has hit in a while. I mean, squared it.
105, John.
Yeah, and Pena was like, whoa, I got it. Ball was changing directions as he was jumping.
Needed every bit of that 6-foot frame. The 25-year-old rookie, the first rookie shortstop ever to win a Gold Glove. Shows you why. Big second out. And now Bone. Popped a high fastball up. First pitch that he saw. His first time.
By the way, I'm going to go on the record right now. I'm going to tell you, Nick Castellanos is going to have a great year for Philadelphia next year.
You think so?
Absolutely.
One of those cases where a guy just comes his first year, struggles, and then plays.
I think this guy is a hitter. He's a doubles machine. He's going to hit for power. Next year, he's going to have a great year.
Now remember, he didn't sign until like days before the season started. Just the product of lockout. A lot of the free agents, you know, they're meeting their teammates as they're breaking camp. And then he gets off to a slow start, and it snowballed on him. It's a guy who a year ago hit .309, 34 home runs.
He's just too good of a hitter, and you get into a funk, and mechanically, it's a hard time to get out of it when you're facing some elite pitchers in the postseason.
Bohm cracks one by Pena. Two on with 2 out.
Well, Bohm, good fastball hitter up, and he got a fastball up. And the way they were positioned, this was not supposed to be the ball that they could hit off of Verlander if he executes his pitch. Kind of shading him up the middle, and teammate. Here we go.
Well, I'm glad you got one, but man, I hit mine harder, and it's cruel, this sport sometimes. Up to Bryson Stott. Who just turned 25 years old. Tie game in the third as Stott pops one off the hands. A stumble from Tucker, but he regains his balance and makes the catch. Justin Verlander strands 2 more. That's 6 left on over the first 3. Is sponsored by Indeed. Jeremy Pena has hit in all 5 games in this World Series. 6-game hitting streak back to the last game of the American League Championship Series, where he was named MVP. Kid thriving in the majors, which is not a surprise. The surprise is how fast he's done it. A draft pick in 2018. He had played in 180 games in the minors and only 30 of them above A ball. He's validating the Astros' leap of faith and letting Carlos Correa walk in free agency, and doing so impossibly quickly. Leads off this 4th in a 1-1 game and chases strike 1.
I got to give him a lot of credit. He looks bad on some pitches. I mean, awful. And then for whatever reason, with 2 strikes, he's been able to get his pitch, take a couple big pitches that the pitchers made on him, and you saw what he's hitting. So kudos to him in his first postseason.
Out of baseball powerhouse, the University of Maine. Yeah, Jeremy Pena, who's born in the Dominican Republic. His family moved to Providence, Rhode Island when he was 10. Didn't know any English at that point. Found comfort on the baseball diamond. Made a lot of friends that way. Stayed close by, went to Maine. Added a lot of strength there by shoveling snow off the field. And that's partly where the power has come, because he used to be a string bean. He was a cross-country runner. He is a good fielder always and hit for average, but there was no power in there. And he bulked up partially with the shoveling at Maine and hit 22 home runs this year. It's a kid who didn't hit more than 6 in a season in college. The old black bear on an 0-2 pitch. Takes outside, ball one.
And that's a great take right there. For whatever reason, he gets super disciplined with 2 strikes. And Syndergaard, by the way, after that little first 2 hiccups, he's used every pitch in his arsenal and done a nice job. Rob Thompson, I don't think, couldn't be happier with this performance.
1-2. Ball. 2-2. His first game in the World Series in 7 years. Alvarez on deck. Not going to see him a second time. Connor Brogdon's ready for him. Syndergaard trying to finish with an exclamation. Instead of fly ball to left, it sends Schwarber back onto the track at the wall. Pena's done it again. He's given the Astros a 2-1 lead in Game 5. After 22 home runs during the regular season, his 4th of the postseason. All that shovel in the snow did him well. Wiry strong now. Ends the night of Syndergaard. It gives the Astros a 2-1 lead. Jeremy Pena, the rookie, looking like anything but a rookie and a youngster. Ready for the moment when he's got the Astros back in front. Brogdon, who they've gained confidence in as this postseason run has gone on. Part of that was he struck out Yordan Alvarez in Game 2. And he'll get him here. Astros in front 2-1. Jeremy Pena homering against Noah Syndergaard. And that changeup is the biggest reason why they like this matchup.
Yeah, believe it or not, that's one of the best pitches that Alvarez statistically on the year, hitting 353 on changeups. Now granted, it's not this kind of changeup, but
do it again.
Yeah, good action and good depth below the zone.
Brogdon gave up 2 runs in his postseason debut against Atlanta, but he's retired 16 of the 18 batters that he's faced since then. Three straight change-ups, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, what he does with that changeup at 84 miles an hour, he has a separation of about 12 to 13 miles an hour between that and the fastball. So that fastball is going to look way harder after seeing slow, 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 and then when he decides to bust that fastball.
There it was. Explodes out of his hand.
It'll actually be a nice double up here with a fastball after throwing changeup, because typically you'd think he's going to go changeup. There's the fastball. Here comes another changeup.
Alvarez struck out his first time on a 2-2 pitch. It is another fastball, and it was right where he wanted it.
Well, here's the bat before that. I think this young man with 8 2-strike hits now in the postseason, he was overmatched on that pitch. Now this pitch got away and he fouled it off. Then he does a nice job fouling off the pitch away. Great take right there. That's the one that set it up with another great take, and then right in the zone. Yaya home run, and Syndergaard knew it as soon as he let it go in the zone.
Spoiling the good feeling for Syndergaard. His outing. So Pena's knocked in both. First pitch change up for a strike on Bregman. Struck out his first time. Oh, 1-1. Bregman knocked in. couple of runs yesterday with that double with the bases loaded in the 5-run inning. He's now knocked in more runs than any third baseman in World Series history. 19 of them. Passing Philadelphia guy, Home Run Baker, on Connie Mack's old Philadelphia A's teams in the 1910s. A shot to left towards the corner. Alex Bregman just off the top of the wall. Right to Schwarber, who comes up gunning. Second, bounces away from Segura. Bullet of a double from Alex Bregman.
That hit off of Alvarado yesterday was one of the most impressive doubles, but that one went the other way. This is more like it. This is the short, compact, short arms, and just 2 feet from being another home run. Hits that little fence, comes right back to Schwarber. And I'll tell you what, he had double on his mind the whole time, but it wasn't an easy one, to say the least.
So Bregman's now been on base all 12 games this postseason, and he's in scoring position for Tucker. He's got to clear that. If you get it in the flowers and the bushes, you're good. Statcast tells us that would have been a home run in the Crawford boxes in Houston. Tucker, 1-0. That's drilled down the line, hooking, foul. Home run distance to it. A couple screamers. Astros hitters against Brogdon. Oh, he's okay. That thing was blasted.
Yeah, it was. Well, runners in scoring position. Nobody, well, only one person slugged better than Tucker did when he had an opportunity to drive in a run with a man on second.
This John quietly is one of the best players in the league. Kyle Tucker, 30 home runs, elite defense. Takes a strike behind 1 and 2.
Well, this is an unhittable pitch. I don't know if it's a strike. It's just an unhittable top of the corner of that strike zone, tying up a left-hander, and of course, been there, done that.
Yeah. Brogdon fires. Well, with his changeup, Tucker took it. Tucker just 25 years old, already in his 3rd World Series. 51 postseason games of experience. Still a whole career ahead of him. Got Bregman at second. 1 gone, 4th inning in Game 5. Astros trying to get this series back to Houston on the verge of clinching. Tucker down swinging. It's the changeup. 2 away.
Still one of the greatest pitches in baseball, because a hitter will tell you when this thing is thrown at the same arm speed as a fastball, you really have a hard time detecting the difference. And the way that he throws it, little pronation, turns it over, has a little fade action. But man, if he threw 90-mile-an-hour fastball, it wouldn't be as effective.
Gurriel with 2 away. Takes a fastball 1. Gurriel flied out his first time.
The thing about his changeup, it doesn't matter right-handed or left-handed batter, he'll throw it.
Very similar to the pitch before. He's felt ball 1. Gurriel patient behind 1 ball, 2 strikes. A look at Bregman in a 1-2. He struck him out with a high fastball. But the Astros take the lead. The last batter that Noah Syndergaard faces is the baby-face killer, Jeremy Pena, his 4th home run of the postseason. Astros 2, Phillies 1. This is sponsored by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. Astros ahead 2-1. Gene Segura leads off the 4th inning for the Phillies. Justin Verlander give up the leadoff home run to Kyle Schwarber. Has pitched around traffic since, holding the Phillies off of the board.
He desperately leads a 1-2-3 inning. Philadelphia has made him work for every inning he's been out there. And in a game like tonight, you feel like you're in the 6th or 7th when you're only in the bottom of the 4th.
Every pitch counts that much more, stresses that much more.
Yeah, it's, again, the cleaner the game, the less the stress, the longer you stay in the game. And the bullpen's already working for the Astros, but they aren't going to let Justin get in too much more trouble, I wouldn't think.
It's Brian Abreu's part of the no-hitter last night. Segura puts it in play. Pena before it comes down and gets in.
Oh, man, was that a good play. He made that look like it was an easy play. I'm going to tell you something. You watch the transfer when that ball came down into his glove. It couldn't have been. It was almost Ozzie Smith-like. Watch how Segura gets out of the box. He knows this is going to be close, and then that switch from the glove to the hand, that is smooth. That's an easy way to toggle that ball and not get a good grip on it, and that's the difference between an out and a base hit.
And learning about playing that position, time he could walk. Son of a former big leaguer. His dad Geronimo, parts of 7 seasons in the majors, mostly with the Cardinals. One away in this 4th inning. Brandon Marsh takes a strike. For more on Pena, down to Ken Rosenthal.
Well, guys, I don't think I'll ever forget Jose Altuve telling me in spring training that Jeremy Pena was going to be a superstar. I was quite surprised to hear him say that, but he said, I can tell by his attitude, he cares, he wants to be the best. The thing that defines Pena is maturity.
And the poise that he's shown. He says that comes from a few places. It comes from Dad, who's a major leaguer. Said it comes from his older Astros teammates too, watching how they carry themselves. So many of these guys, so much big game experience. And then it comes from spending the last 2 winters playing in the pressure-packed Dominican Winter League. He still makes his home in the United States, even having been born in the Dominican, but he's got a bunch of family there, goes back, sees them, and plays in those environments that are just different. He said he's learned a lot about performing in big spots doing that. 1-1 to Marsh.
Well, the other thing that Dusty Baker said that was very vital was on the taxi squad last year, and he got to see in the postseason what it's like, how to carry yourself. Correa helped him out a lot, passed the keys on to him. And I think that part of that last year experience, even though he wasn't on the team, it helps to prepare you a little bit more for the moments you're about to entertain for the first time.
Keeps adding a bunch of historic firsts. Pinpoint fastball. Verlander turns it up to 97 to get Marsh looking.
Now this pitch held its plane and didn't leak and stayed in that outer part of the corner.
Third one for Verlander. He gave up a leadoff home run on a fastball to Kyle Schwarber. When he saw him the second time, 4 of the 5 pitches he threw him were curveballs. And Schwarber walked. Sticks with that script.
That's when you scratch your head a little bit as a pitcher and you go, I can't believe he didn't swing at that.
Swung at that. To make it start to think he's just waiting for a fastball.
No, it's just that pitch was so nasty. You can sometimes go, okay, if he was aggressive on the first pitch, he's going to swing at it, and he just may have seen it or been fooled. And that's the thing you got to chalk up too. Like maybe it was a good pitch, he fooled him.
Right.
But Schwarber right now, the timing. Remember we talked about 0 for 16. He's a way different hitter right now. The second part of this postseason.
1-2. Well, the game summary here. In Game 5, the series tied at 2. Jeremy Pena knocked in Jose Altuve a couple pitches into the game to make it 1-0. Schwarber tied it with a leadoff homer, but then it was Pena again with a home run in the top of the 4th. Winner takes a 3-2 series advantage. 1-2 to Schwarber. Drops low. That's another impressive take.
I'm telling you, that is such a Uncle Charlie curveball. Look how long that's in the strike zone, and Schwarber takes it. I mean, he's tracking.
Dude is locked in. Represents the tying run here in the 4th on a 2-2. Schwarber got another curve, and this one he took looking. Back-to-back Ks from Justin Verlander to finish his first 1-2-3 into the game. Kate loves it. The Astros love it. Up 2-1. Could have 2 champions crowned on Saturday on Fox. We'll have Game 6 of the World Series Saturday night. David Hensley fouls off the first pitch from Connor Brogdon. Well, Hensley starting his 8th major league game here. A 26th round draft pick. Astros gave him a grand, a plane ticket, and an opportunity, which is all he ever really wanted. And all he's done with it is take advantage, gone from an anonymous minor leaguer to starting in the World Series. He's behind 0-2 here. He didn't even come up until August 26th. And he performed well, but that was very limited duty. Couple big plate appearances in the division series. Into witness protection. Didn't see him again until Game 3 of the World Series. And there again tonight. Now an 0-2 from Connor Brogdon. Ball.
That's why no matter what, you got to do your work and never assume, and you never know when your number's going to get called. I'm sure it's not fun to just sit a long time and try to be on your game against this kind of pitching in the postseason.
Leads off the 5th. Down swinging on a changeup. All 4 outs for Brogdon have been strikeouts. 3 of them swinging on that change. Or beg your pardon, 2 on the change, 2 on the fastball. Jose Alvarado, the key lefty down there for the Phillies, getting going. So is Andrew Bellotti, which is noteworthy because he's the one guy that's thrown both games here. And they were going to have a conversation with him. How do you feel about going 3 in a row? Something he's never done. It looks like they got a positive answer. Chas McCormick with 1 away. Grounds 1 to 3rd for Bone. 2 out. And Maldonado. Now what a bonus, John, in a bullpen game such as this, if you can get 2 innings and 2 scoreless innings from a guy like Connor Brogdon.
Yeah, he's been good, and really the whole bullpen's been good. It's the reason why in the World Series they have stepped it up. Of course, yesterday was the first runs they had given up. Tough situation too, even though the 3 runs went to Nola, 2 more were charged to Alvarado.
Bullpen for the Phillies, a sub-1 ERA in the World Series. Trying to ride that pen to a 3-2 series lead and a chance for Zach Wheeler to pitch him to a title on Saturday. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And I've said it many times, and you know this is the day and age we're in, but when it works, man, it looks good, and you go, that's the formula. But then you're asking every guy that comes in. Let's say 6 guys pitched today. The odds of all 6 being in their top form and being locked down, I mean, that's the risk when you don't have a conventional game and a conventional starter that you can lean on for 5-6 innings.
Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Maldonado's got that look on his face like, whoo, that thing was on me. For Connor Brogdon in 2 scoreless innings. Halfway home in Game 5. Houston in front 2-1. Teeth of the Phillies lineup coming up. Of the 5th inning of Game 5. Rhys Hoskins leads off against Justin Verlander. It's a slider, and that's how he attacked him the first time and struck him out to get out of a bases-loaded jam. Verlander home with an 0-1. Another slider, Tom Verducci.
Yeah, in Game 1, Justin Verlander, no swings and misses on the slider, first time all year. He told me without a lot of game reps this month, he got into some lazy habits in his bullpen and playing catch. He vowed he would fix it, and boy, has he.
His 1-1 is a fastball. Letter high, swung on and missed.
Well, that first 3 innings had to feel like he was climbing a mountain. And now he's trying to get on the downside of that hill and turn it over to the pen possibly after this inning. But he's a rhythm pitcher. And if he gets in a rhythm, we saw it at the second start, where he basically ended with 15 in a row and then started with 10 in a row, or 9 or 10 in a row. But they're not going to let him labor much. If he gets in some jams, look for Dusty to go to the pen. But if it's up to Justin, he thinks he's got 2 more innings easy.
Well, Hector Neris swarming in the bullpen. 72 pitches with this next one. It's another 1-2 to Rhys Hoskins. Taken away, 2-2. Dusty Baker told us before the game, he said, look, I understand the game these days, that you're going to be aggressive with your bullpen, but that is still Justin Verlander out there, and that counts for something.
Yeah.
So if he's kind of leaning one way or the other, not quite sure, he might lean on the resume. Strikeout. It's the 5th for Verlander, second time that he's gotten Hoskins that way.
Well, he's been through so much. He knows how to start, he knows how to be the middleman, and he knows how to close all in one. And it really started a long time ago in his career, where he realized he didn't have to empty the tank in the first 2 or 3 innings. And he saved and had reserve for later in the game. Even at 39 years old, he still has gears he can go to if he needs to.
In his 17th major league year. One away in the 5th for Real Muto. Dives to the knees, and boy, does he have that thing working. 12 seasons in Detroit, or 12+ years. He was traded in 2017, won a World Series 2 months after they acquired him. Dominant the next 2 years. Won a Cy Young in 2019. And then deals with significant arm problems for the first time in his career. Undergoes Tommy John surgery, so pitches in just 1 game, 2020 and 2021 combined. Now at that point, 15 seasons in, 2 Cy Youngs already. He's got that ring. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He asked himself, do I really want to spend 2 years grinding to get back? And he says, okay, of course I do. But I'm not wired to walk away. And so he goes through it. The monotony, the grind of the rehab. And it's one thing to make it back, but especially as a power pitcher, it's another thing to make it back and be better than ever. A 1.75 ERA, a 3rd Cy Young likely coming.
Well, I thoroughly believe he wants to win 300 games, and I wouldn't bet against him. And that's the one thing about Justin Verlander in his time away. He talked about it with Kenny, about learning his body, learning things, being away from the game, and appreciating things.
Home with another 1-2. Ball just high. He credits a couple things for that. He says simply the time away and the perspective that you gained from that, but also the perspective gained in fatherhood. Said he feels like he's a better listener, a better communicator. And simply put, he just feels so lucky to be here, having had it all taken away for a while. Strikes out Real Muto with the fastball. That's the 4th straight strikeout for Justin Verlander. 2 away in the 5th.
After that fly out to right field, he's been a different pitcher. And I thought that when you make it through those 3 stressful innings, a veteran like him knows, okay, that was it. Those were their chances to score. Now let me get back on track and impose my will. And that's what he seems to be doing right now. Causing Dusty Baker to go, yeah, maybe another inning I can get out of Justin Verlander.
Harper's walked both times. Represents the tying run with 2 gone in the 5th. Fouls off a high fastball. And that has been the plan of attack from Verlander. It's all he's thrown, Harper. It's really all anybody's thrown, Bryce Harper.
And he really hasn't given him one out over the plate. You know, we saw Harper go the other way with hits after hits and homers. He's been kind of keeping the ball tight to where that's going to be much more difficult for Bryce Harper. He wants the ball up, upper third, outer third, so that if he does go and connect, that's where he can go to left field.
On this 1-1 from Verlander, Harper fouls it back.
Yeah, that's perfectly located, and that's great player against great player, and one of the great players is going to win. It's whoever executes better.
The rare pitcher MVP on the mound and a 2-time MVP in the batter's box. The 1-2 pitch.
Ball, no.
2-2. How much fun is this to watch?
I know Justin and probably Maldonado are grinding about when do I pull the trigger on a breaking ball? When? It's been all fastballs.
Stays that way, and he punishes this one into right. Tucker bobbles it in the corner. Harper's got extra bases. Tying run in scoring position. The 17th pitch that he throws is the 17th fastball, and Harper turns it around and has reached all 3 times.
Well, that might have been the time to throw the breaking ball. There's a lot of them, and this one didn't quite get up. Right down the middle. He needed to get it in and up, and give Harper credit, man. He has stayed stubborn, swinging and fouling off high fastballs. He got one, turned it in to a double.
And John, last time up for Nick Castellanos, probably his best swing of the postseason. He got robbed of a base hit by Jeremy Pena, but he comes up here with a chance to tie this game.
Yeah, and he'll again, he steps in the box ready to swing.
You could tell it took a pitch that was a yard away to keep him from doing so. Ball 1. The Phillies hit above 300 with runners in scoring position over the first 3 rounds. They started the World Series 4 for 8. They're 0 for their last 18. They can end it. They would tie it. 2 balls and no strikes.
Harper's getting a huge lead. Obviously, any swing and contact, 2 outs. It would take a missile to not score him at second base with that lead.
Good pitch. 2-1.
I mean, he could steal third. Altuve's nowhere near second base. And then you put a lot of pressure on the combination with a runner on third and 2 outs.
That's certainly worth the idea. 2-1. Castellanos pops it foul, and it's 2-2. Where are you going if you're Verlander?
Got to be breaking ball off the plate. I know the breaking ball he hit in left field, but you trust your breaking ball and your slider is going to be better off the plate. And if he does it again, well, that's what I would think based on the touch that he has on that pitch right now.
Tying run in scoring position. 2-away, 5th inning. 2-2 pitch. Fastball is spoiled. First-year Philly Nick Castellanos. Not many moments where he's felt good in this first year. Chance for a big one here. Fouls it off.
See, this pitch you don't have to throw as hard as you want. You just have to spin it off the plate. And here, the last couple pitches, he has really revved up the engines. He threw that fastball 97 up. But he's been connected with that slider off the plate.
Another 2-2 pitch. Down the line. Foul.
And again, that line drive, for whatever reason, locked in Nick Castellanos on the fastball. That's why I would come off the fastball if I were Justin Verlander right here. These are the best swings we've seen him have on fastballs.
That close. Maldonado's going to go out for a visit. This is as long of a plate appearance as you're going to see Nick Castellanos have. Next pitch is going to be the 8th. A quick word from Capital One.
Capital One is the official bank and credit card partner of Major League Baseball. What's in your wallet?
Nick Castellanos said a big part of the reason why he chose Philadelphia in free agency. He wanted to play in big games. Finds himself in a big spot here. That pitch got a lot of the plate, and he almost delivered. Said, I've hit my homers, I've made my money. I want to win a game that matters. On a 2-2, he takes away and the count's full.
Well, you'll see some emotion out of Verlander right here if he's able to get this 3-2 pitch in and out. He knows he's near the end. He knows that he wanted to get his team through 5 innings with a chance to win the game.
On the 9th pitch, Castellanos grounds it foul. How about a 10-pitch at-bat for the most aggressive guy in baseball? It's usually over in 1 or 2.
Well, he's tracking a lot better than he has, and those are breaking balls, curve balls, and I think the slider becomes the pitch if they're going to go to another one. That's what the Phillies do, fight. They said just fight, pass the baton on.
On the 10th pitch, Castellanos pops it up left center field. Yordan Alvarez is there, and Justin Verlander gets out of it. He's through 5 with a 2-1 lead.
Maybe, but yes,
you assume 94 pitches, leaving the game with the lead.
You don't get that relaxed.
Right.
When you're thinking about going back out.
Top of the order for the Astros. Altuve against Jose Alvarado. He gets strike 1. Alvarado came into the game in the 5th inning yesterday, hit Yordan Alvarez, and that brought him the first run. He gave up 2 hits after that and just didn't quite have it in his first game in 5 days. And he has been a key piece for this pen in this postseason run. No balls, 2 strikes on Altuve.
Well, I promise you, he's got a whole different feeling coming on with nobody on versus coming in with the bases loaded. That is such a high-stress situation, no room for error, and of course it snowballed on him. This a lot more comfortable.
On an 0-2, Altuve takes low, 1-2. Such a hard spot to come in. I mean, you got the fact that he hadn't thrown in a while, so you don't know how sharp he's going to be, and just no room for air with the bases loaded. First 2 runs that the bullpen has allowed in this World Series. Came in that 5th. A 1-2 pitch. Fouls it off.
Well, the other thing that the Astros have an advantage for the first time against a great pitcher is they've seen him a lot now. And they got to see a lot of pitches in that inning. A lot of this lineup, of course, saw him. So you wonder how that translates as this series keeps going. The Phillies aren't going to win the World Series without Alvarado and Dominguez pitching at least 2 to 3 more times.
Another 1-2.
You good, brother?
Off Real Muto.
You sure? Didn't buzz you?
Man, oh man.
So you want to be a catcher?
Nope.
Man.
230 more innings of that than anybody.
It's coming in at 100, even though he deflected it. It ain't deflecting 30 miles off of it.
No. That doesn't feel soft at all. Jose Altuve is 1 for 2, doubled and scored to start the game. Takes his cutter low, and it's 2-2. Altuve started this postseason 1 for 28. He's hitting above 300 since. Although a guy that has 23 home runs in the postseason in his career has the longest postseason home run drought of his career. 66 plate appearances back to last year. Only Manny Ramirez has hit more postseason home runs than Altuve. Who cracks a grounder over the mound. Not an easy play for Gene Segura. Not in time. Jose Altuve with an infield hit to start the 6th.
I'm going to tell you something. Segura was kind of screened by Alvarado with that ball going past the big man. Watch this. Goes right kind of behind him, and then he goes to get it. Altuve. Probably the most steps you could make as fast as he gets from home to first.
Verlander finds himself in position to get that World Series win that's eluded him. I'd love to see his offense gather some insurance here. Narrowest of margins. And the man of the night here, Jeremy Pena. Got him on the board in the first, put him in front in the 4th with a solo shot.
Well, we talked about it again in the open about 1 through 5. In this lineup is where they get everything done. They got it going in the 5th, and 1 through 5 now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits with nothing Tucker on down. So they're getting it done.
And these top 2 guys, and Altuve and Pena, 4 for 5 combined. One pitch will come out to throw over. Altuve this year has run like he hadn't in a long time. He stole 13 bases the last 3 years combined. He stole 18 this year. Had been caught since May 5th. One-two pitch. Pena's down swinging. Retired for the first time tonight.
Well, this is nasty. 99 miles an hour, and then you got to face that.
This from a guy who was so bad early on this year that he went to AAA for 2 weeks, and that's the pitch that he came back toting. A 1.66 ERA since returning, with a walk rate that he cut in half. A left-handed weapon out of that pen for Yordan Alvarez, who struck out both times today. This is the part of the order that they have earmarked for Alvarado. Pop up. Short center field, Bryson Stott. 2 out in the 6th. Well, this weekend starts Saturday strong with Big Noon Saturday on Fox. Max Duggan leads the high-scoring attack of number 7 TCU into a Lone Star showdown with Texas Tech. Big Noon kickoff crew is live in Fort Worth at 10 a.m. Eastern, and then it's Texas Tech and TCU at noon Eastern on Fox.
Can I just say, love the jerseys.
Which ones? I got about 40 of them.
I love
these ones. I thought you were talking about TCU.
Yeah, no, these Phillies jerseys, little throwback.
These were the primary jerseys in the 1980 championship season. I wore these on Thursdays during the regular season this year. Love it. We're sticking with it here tonight. Sharp. Astros didn't want to break out their old stripe unis from that era. Bregman with a man at first and 2 away. Well, this is what you've got to live with the lefty-righty-lefty in this order, where you want Alvarez. You want Alvarado for Alvarez and Tucker, but you've got to deal with him against Bregman too.
Not so sure. Close, right?
Bregman doubled off the top of the wall his last time. On an 0-1.
Ball at 10.
100 inside.
Unfortunately, we're going to have a little delay.
Yeah, while they take care of the reason for the delay, a quick word from Roman.
When it comes to your health, what you do next matters most. Roman, official partner of Major League Baseball.
Security's tracking it down. Problem neutralized. The only thing this is good for is a chance to tell you about the World Baseball Classic. Exclusively on Fox. All the action begins March 2023. Taiwan, Japan, Arizona, and Florida. Go to worldbaseballclassic.com for more information. A bunch of big-time names going to be playing in that. Kyle Schwarber back in the first inning. A leadoff home run against Justin Verlander. Tied this game at 1. And in the fourth inning, Jeremy Pena broke the tie with a home run of his own. And that is how we are where we are. 2-1 in the sixth inning of Game 5 with the series tied at 2 games apiece.
In a series that has been filled with crooked numbers, it's fitting we get a bunch of solo innings, one run at a time for each team. I figured this game would be the closest of them all because of what's at stake and how Philadelphia is going to try every asset they can out of the bullpen to keep this game right where it's at.
Yeah, the only thing that's been predictable about this series is that it's going to be unpredictable.
Yes.
And so it's turned on its head again here with those tin soldiers up there counting for the scoring. And the first tight one since Game 1. Altuve's at first. Started this inning with a single. Alvarado to Bregman with the 1-1 pitch. Almost hit him. It allows Altuve to move into scoring position.
I think it did hit him.
And either way, Altuve is going to get into scoring position, and it did. Hit Bregman, who is aboard. Played that off really calmly.
Yeah, right off the foot.
So second batter that Alvarado's hit the last 2 days. I believe the call there, or at least the report there, was that Houston is challenging. So was the call initially that it didn't hit him?
Right.
Okay. Well, Bregman's already down
he knows
first. I think we all do at this point. Should be a quick one.
The call on the field is overturned. The batter was hit by the pitch. He's awarded first base. Houston retains their challenge.
All right, so good work getting this call right. First and second for the Astros now. And Kyle Tucker. So they do get to that lefty-lefty matchup they like with Alvarado here. And Tucker tonight 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. After his 2 home run Game 1, he's 1 for 12. Single Altuve, hit by pitch, puts Bregman on.
Tucker good, middle to down in the zone, vulnerable up in the zone.
First one from Alvarado is down in the zone, check swing foul. Jose Alvarado in his second season with the Phillies. He spent 4 years in Tampa Bay. He's the first guy that Dave Dombrowski traded for. Sir Anthony Dominguez. Struggled mightily in his first year plus with the Phillies. Heard plenty of boos here at Citizens Bank Park. Mentioned that trip down to AAA. Figured things out. Changed his mix a little bit. Pretty much nothing but cheers since he came back. Big spot here in the 6th. Fires 1-1. Ahead of Tucker 1-2.
Well, one of his biggest problems was he was having a hard time finding the strike zone at time. The plate would be bouncing all over. Well, that hasn't been the case now. He's locked in. He's about as loose of a guy I've ever seen pregame. We get here early. He's throwing the frisbee, having a good old time. And for a reliever, that's pretty interesting because there's so much time that leads into when you're going to pitch.
Two on, 2 out, 1-2. Bouncing ball to first. Rhys Hoskins to the bag. And the top of the 6th. The 2022 World Series on Fox is presented by Capital One. $250,000 has already been donated to the Jackie Robinson Foundation through the Capital One walk-off program. For every walk-off during the World Series, Capital One's going to donate another $75,000 to the foundation to honor Jackie breaking the color barrier. To the bottom of the 6th in Game 5, a one-run game. Hector Neris, the longtime Philly, pours in a strike on Alec Bohm.
Well, he's got another great fastball, but he's got a splitter that's virtually unhittable. 163 on the year. If he gets the 2 strikes, he likes to use that pitch.
He's struck out more hitters than any reliever in Phillies history over 8 seasons here. First season in Houston. Ball! 1 ball, 1 strike on Bohm. He's only faced 1 hitter in this World Series. Struck out Castellanos in the 7th inning of Game 1. They're deploying him against the bottom of the order here. Deploying the Astros' biggest strength, that bullpen. Bohm, who's 1 for 2. Fouls it off. 1-2. Alec Bohm, the former 3rd pick of the draft. On a 1-2 from Hector Neris. Bohm takes high. It's been a roller coaster career for him. The big expectations that come from being the 3rd pick. And lived up to him when he got to the majors. He's the runner-up for Rookie of the Year in 2020. But it went so south last year that he got demoted to AAA. Barely made the roster coming out of spring training this year. And has had a resurgent campaign right back in the Phillies' plans. Right in the middle of their lineup in the World Series. On a 2-2 from Neris. Bohm pokes it over second into the gap. Leadoff base hit for Alec Bohm. Tying run aboard in the 6th. This Astros bullpen trying to hold on for Justin Verlander, who stands by with Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Joe. Justin, that slider got you out of the jam in the 2nd inning, got you out of the jam in the 5th. It looked like a reunion with an old friend. Talk about the adjustment from Game 1.
Yeah, was able to stay back a little better, get my timing in sync, and leverage over top of the slider a little bit better today. You know, it wasn't easy. It was a lot of work, and especially the last couple innings. Besides the Bryce hit, I felt like I started to find my rhythm a little bit. These guys made it very difficult on me, though. They're a really tough lineup.
Justin, you navigated this lineup and turned a lead over to the bullpen. What does this start mean to you?
I mean, I just want to win. You know, not myself personally. I want the team to win, and if I can get it, so be it. But either way, hope we can get a double play right here and hold on to this thing.
Justin, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Stop with a fly ball to right center field. It is Tucker at the last moment. I think he was thinking the center fielder McCormick would take charge. He never did. And then Tucker saved the day.
Well, the center fielder's got to be the general right there, and he's got to take command if he's going to catch that ball. And you're right. There was about a second of a heartbeat in that Astros dugout that were like, watch this pause. Oh no, look at him, and then come right back at the end.
Oh yeah, look at that glance at the end. You're not getting it, are you, buddy? The Gold Glover there to snatch it. Tying run aboard, 1 gone, 6th inning. Gene Segura. Gene Segura is 32 years old. He's been in the majors for 11 years. Finally getting a chance in the postseason. The guy they call Clutch Gene. Had a game-winning hit in the first game of the postseason for the Phillies. Part of a 6-run 9th inning in St. Louis. He had the game-winning hit, Game 3 of the championship series. Represents the go-ahead run. Sends it foul. The Astros bullpen has given up just 4 runs all postseason, and these numbers here, John, are just like somebody's had to have made a typo, right? But no, they've not given up a hit with a runner in scoring position. They've only given up 2 of them with runners aboard. Brian Abreu getting ready. 0-1 from Neris.
You can see Maldonado telling him to keep that front shoulder back. But you're right. When it's the strength of your ball club, that's just ridiculous. I mean, that's going to another level when you've been good all year. It's almost invincible.
He had no hitter last night. It was a great advertisement for what this pitching staff has been. Dominance from the first guy out, the last guy. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Segura.
Segura hit that one off the ground. It looked like that ball was. This is what he can do. Shoe top to the top of the Phillies emblem. This ball almost gonna bounce.
Well, both of those game-winning hits we're talking about, John, were on pitches way out of the strike zone. The 1-2 pitch. Got him. Fastball to the outside part of the plate for out number 2. Dusty Baker comes out. Hector Neris is going to get just the 3 hitters to fulfill the minimum and pass it on to the next man. Abreu's ready to go in a 1-run game here in the 6th. Start looking for that elusive first winning decision. Noah Syndergaard was pretty good through a couple, but then he gave up a home run to the last batter that he faced. That is the difference in this game right now when we finally, John, have a tight one. It's been a series of big swings one way and the other. This one really tight throughout.
Now, this one had the feeling, you figure 2-2, everyone's trying to get that advantage going to Houston. Yeah. Philadelphia hasn't lost 2 in a row in a long time. Of course, we talked about Houston hadn't lost 2 in a row, so something's got to give, and it's one of those games that I think we expected a few more of them.
Oh, my goodness. Brian Abreu, first pitch that he throws, drills Marsh in the knee, and that means Kyle Schwarber comes up. Schwarber started this game with a home run. That is all Justin Verlander would allow over his 5 innings. The guy that's hit more of them than anybody in the National League this year strides up there. Ouch. He'll take it, though. I would much rather have this guy coming up.
Well, Abreu's slider has been awesome. 160 batting average against, 73 strikeouts.
Kyle Schwarber, who's done some legendary things in the postseason in his career, takes high, ball 1. No runs allowed by Abreu. 9 innings in this postseason. Only 2 runs allowed back to the All-Star break. Tying run at second, that's Alec Bohm. Go ahead run at first, Brandon Marsh. 1-0 pitch. Schwarber grounds one to second. Altuve's got it. Low throw, but caught by Gurriel. And after 6 innings in Philadelphia, Houston in front 2-1. And we're back after a word from your local Fox station. Baseball and softball players ages 7 to 14. You can host a local competition in 2023 and give the kids a chance to make it to the finals. Go to pitchhitrun.com. Sir Anthony Dominguez for the 7th inning which is surprising given that it's the bottom of the order here.
Very surprising, which tells me he's going 2 no matter what. But you would like to have stolen another inning and then have him go 2 in the 8th and the 9th. So he hadn't pitched in a while. But I'm with you. It just seems like he's going 2 no matter what.
So it seems like then the options after that probably going to be Robertson and Eflin. And Dominguez certainly has been higher on the totem pole in the postseason, and for good reason. He's given up just 1 run in 9 1/3. He's struck out 18 of the 32 that he's faced. This is the top arm they have. Gurriel on 1-2. Flips it into center field. Marsh didn't get a great read. Breaks on. Can't get it. Gurriel's headed for second. And the leadoff man is in scoring position.
Hardest play for a center fielder. Reading the swing and then seeing the ball. Gurriel always has that longer swing. And he hits this off the end of the bat. Watch. This is a straight on tough play for center fielders to get the read. And you got to react right away, and he almost closed it.
So a double for Gurriel. Astros hunting for some insurance here, leading 2-1. Series tied at 2. David Hensley struck out both times tonight, and he takes ball 1 from Dominguez. You wonder, it's been a week since Dominguez pitched. Game 1 Friday. Any rust there? That perhaps factors into the decision to give him a softer landing here.
Maybe, but I just think it's 2 innings no matter what, unless he can't get it done. And I think that when you think about what Rob Thompson is looking to have his lineup do, keep the game right here while the meat of his lineup's coming up to either tie the game or take the lead. And then you still got Dominguez for 1 more inning.
1-2. Dominguez deals. Look out! Off the glove of Real Muto, and Gurriel's at third. We've seen Dominguez, if there's been an issue this postseason, it's been wild pitches. Now, part of that was the weather that he was dealing with in the championship series. But on a perfect night here, this one gets away from him.
Yeah, totally gets away. You could hear the lookout call by JT. This has to be a slider.
Now, Hensley's really struggled with those. Bouncing ball to short. Runner holds. Stopped to first in time. Well, the infield was pulled in 1 pitch into 2 pitches into the game. No doubt about what they're going to do there. They'll stay in as the 8-hitter Chas McCormick comes up, and even a man at third, nobody out. There is a path out of this, with this being the bottom of the order. McCormick's 0 for 2. Strike 1, nasty pitch.
I'll tell you, I know we don't ever see it anymore. It's kind of indefensible with a nasty pitcher on the mound. All you got to do is you bunt the ball between first base and the pitcher's mound, and the third base runner reads it. Can't defend it.
Old squeeze play.
And it's really kind of a safety squeeze, right? Because you're squaring around and you're not sending the runner, because the pitcher or the catcher could throw it up and in, but he's up there to hit. But boy, huge insurance run if Houston can get it right here.
The 1-1. McCormick grounds it to third. Runner breaks home. Bohm throws, and they've got Gurriel hung up. Stott to the plate. Now Hoskins joins the party. Runs him down, tags him out. The drawn-in infield does the job. 2 gone in the 7th. With that action, McCormick takes second.
Let me tell you, Gurriel took a shot to the head right here. He did everything he could to keep in a rundown to get the runner to second, but I'm telling you, he took a shot in the head right there. And I don't know if he's going to be able to stay in the game. A little wobbly, but that was a pretty good knee to the head. And the reason that play was contact, you got Maldonado on deck, and he had to make something happen right there. It looks like he gets a knee to the head, and he might have sprained his knee right there in the awkward way that he landed.
It is 5-2, 6-3 to get Gurriel. So the Astros unable to take advantage of a runner at third, nobody out situation. The Phillies defense coming up with a play here, and it's up to the 9-hitter Maldonado with a man at second and 2 away. Game 5 of the World Series. Tight from the start. Fastball's by him. One from Dominguez. Got a chase way out there, and it's 0-2. Ball 1. Straight back, out of play. We'll do the 1-2 again. Martin Maldonado in the game for his defense, for his catching ability. Always in there for Justin Verlander. Some more offense to be had from Christian Vasquez. Right now, it's on Maldonado's shoulders at the plate.
That might have been the best pitch he had a chance to hit right there. He fouled it straight back. That one didn't turn the corner.
Bounce gently to short. Stops there. And Sir Anthony Dominguez and the Phillies get out of the jam in the 7th. An old-fashioned pickle here in the World Series. Astros had a man at third, nobody out, could not score. Hope Yuli Gurriel is okay. That collision on the tag from Hoskins, and we stretch in a 2-1 game. He's got a triple. What a start for the Astros. Schwarber turns on a ball, deep right field and gone. Of course he did. Pena's done it again. Shaping up to be a special finish here. 2-1 in Game 5 to the bottom of the 7th inning back here at Citizens Bank Park. Larry Boa still with the organization as a senior advisor. Justice Samuel Alito taking this game in. Last world champion manager of the Phillies, Charlie Manuel, spent it all the games. Jim Thome is here as well. And a couple guys that know about winning championships in this city. Ryan Arcidiacono, Jalen Brunson, now playing for the Knicks. Won titles at Villanova. 2, 3, and 4 for the Phillies. They trail 2-1, and Rhys Hoskins takes ball 1 from Brian Abreu. Yuli Gurriel does stay in after that collision on the tag play. And the Phillies bring Hoskins, Realmuto, and Harper to the plate against Abreu. Hoskins 0 for 3 tonight.
And this is why I think they brought in Dominguez, because of the lineup that the Phillies had coming up right here. Their best chance to score a run would be, you would think, this inning.
Longest tenured Philly position player, Rhys Hoskins, fouls it off, and it's 1-2.
But I say that because it's hard to score off of Abreu and the Astros bullpen.
The only way to score against this pen this postseason, which is no longer young, is to hit a home run. He did 4 runs on 4 solo home runs. Montero getting ready. 1-2 pitch. Hoskins pounds it into the ground foul. So much of the Phillies' identity this year has been about bouncing back. It's been about responding. From 8 games below 500, responding just to get into the postseason, trailing 2-0 in the wild card round, the first game going into the 9th inning, responding to that, winning. Yet to lose back-to-back games in this postseason. The offense that is the biggest reason that they got into this postseason, with their ability to hammer the ball out of the park, and was the reason for the party here in South Philly. The first game in this World Series has disappeared.
The last 2 sliders have been in the zone, and Rhys Hoskins been able to foul it off.
Abreu's 1-2. Hoskins watches strike 3 to the outside corner. 1 gone in the 7th.
Late and in the zone, and stayed in the zone.
Brian Abreu, who came up as a 22-year-old straight from Double-A in 2019. He's ready to face JT Realmuto. Command problems his first couple of years, so he's back and forth between the majors and the minors. But he has grown into a dominant right-hander out of that pen for Dusty Baker. Strike on Realmuto. Now, last year, Abreu had a 5.75 ERA. Last 2 months, he was in the minors. He worked on shortening his arm swing and simplifying his mechanics a little bit this winter. When pitched in the Dominican Winter League, came back a different guy. Ahead 0-2.
Yeah, that's just nasty. The way he stays behind the ball, and then his big frame goes downhill, unloads 98 miles an hour, and then he has that spinning slider. I mean, it's classic. He stays right there, shoulders in, and then boom, here comes the ball.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, JT Realmuto. And back-to-back Ks for Brian Abreu to start the 7th.
This is just behind the ball. Tremendous backspin on that 4-seam fastball.
How much fun if you're Dusty Baker getting to manage this bullpen. I know it's high pressure. I know it's high stress. Everything magnified. Trying to win your first world championship in your 25 years as a manager. But to have guy after guy that can come in and do that. What a beautiful thing for a beautiful human, a Dusty Baker. 2 gone in the 7th. Bryce Harper fouls off the first one. One extra base hit off of the all-time record for a single postseason. Six of those 13 home runs.
One more fastball down in the zone, and he might get it. He just missed that one. You know, they've been pitching the top of the zone against Bryce, but I'll tell you something, he's been getting close to catching up on that fastball in the zone.
He's had a lot of opportunities to time it up. I know it's a different pitcher, but he's seen 18 pitches tonight from Verlander and Abreu, all fastballs. He got another and just missed it. 0-2.
That was 100, I think.
Yep. The 0-2 pitch. Finally something other than a fastball.
Yeah, completely spun out of that slider right there. The front side went all the way to first base, and he's been behind every other pitch, so probably trying to make it perfect against a great hitter. Happens.
On a 1-2, Harper tries to lay off. Check swing, no swing. Ball 2.
It's about as violent as check swing you're going to go.
Yeah, that's a new life for Bryce Harper and the Phillies, and Dusty Baker can't believe it. Abreu's got to throw another to the two-time MVP. One swing from tying it. 2-2 pitch. Popped up. Long run with a shift on. Bregman's over there. He's got it. Brian Abreu with a 1-2-3 7th against the heart of the Phillies lineup. Lost every week.
No.
NFL action highlighted by Seahawks Cardinals. Check for the game in your area. Then November 13th, one of the biggest games of the year. Packers and Cowboys. Sir Anthony Dominguez stays on. He got out of an impossible situation in the 7th. Man at third, nobody out. No damage. And now this is where you envision him against the top of the order. Jose Altuve ahead 2-0.
Yeah, this really is the inning that Rob Thompson was hoping that nothing would change on the scoreboard. But this is the part of the order that is responsible for the 2 runs.
2-0 pitch. Ball 3 on Altuve. Dominguez has gone 2 innings multiple times this postseason already. He's thrown as many as 34 pitches in a game. Top 2 in the order, the part that's gotten it done. 2 hits for Altuve, 2 hits and both runs knocked in for Pena. There's a strike and it's 3-1. Either one of these teams has lost back-to-back games this postseason. Astros trying to hand the Phillies their first back-to-back defeats. If they do, they'd be on the verge of their first World Championship since 2017 as they go back to Houston. For these Phillies, one last chance in front of this crowd of more than 46,000 that's been as big a part of the story as the team on the field through this run. From 3-0 to 3-2. And ball 4. Leadoff man on for the Astros. So it brings up Jeremy Pena, who was the ALCS MVP, and he's been the star tonight, knocking in both runs for Houston.
Yeah, second batter of the game, infield drawn in, 1-0. Then he comes up, lays off a couple pitches, gets one that he can handle. 2-1.
4 postseason home runs in his first trip there. I mentioned it earlier, but he never hit more than 6 in a season in college. Ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Hit 7 in his first year in the minors. Last year he flashed. He had 10 home runs in 30 games in AAA, but then he missed the rest of the year with a wrist injury. But he was there waiting. Carlos Correa hit free agency. They knew they'd be okay because they had this guy. Fouls it off, 1-1.
He has a rhythmic approach to hitting. You see the bat will get flat, it'll wiggle, and as the pitch comes, he tries to get it in the position to hit. And when its timing is right, it's beautiful. When it's not, he swings off the plate and misses. But this is what he's been doing. It's his timing mechanism. A lot of movement. He'll flatten it out and then get ready right about now.
Altuve runs on a base hit to right field. He slides and pops to his feet in time to take third. Hit and run first and third, nobody out.
Well, right on cue. You couldn't do it any better than that. When you know the runner's going, you just try to stay back and go to right center. And he did this perfectly. Got the barrel bat ready and went with the open side of right field. Nobody there. They tried to deke Altuve going into second. He slid in but got up in time. Watch this. He doesn't see where the ball is, so he slides in, then locates it and gets to third base.
That'll be the last hitter for Sir Anthony Dominguez. First and third, nobody out for the Astros. Second inning in a row, they've had a man 90 feet away with nobody out, trying to cash in, widen this lead. World kicks off. Christian Pulisic leads the U.S. men's national team as they return to the World Cup stage for the first time in 8 years. The FIFA World Cup starts November 20th on Fox and FS1. Sir Anthony Dominguez finished. The book far from closed, though. Those runners at first and third are his responsibility. And David Robertson, who's actually better against left-handed hitters than he is righties, on to face Yordan Alvarez. Astros with another golden chance. First and third, nobody out. Alvarez waits on a curve, flips it down the line. Schwarber over near the sidewall. It's out of play.
Those are always the toughest plays to decide what to do, right? Well, here there's not enough foul territory to even have that decision play in, but do you catch it and let the run score? You trade the out? Well, in the 8th inning, boy, they can't afford to give up too many more runs. One would be the max here with first and third, nobody out.
Alvarez 0 for 3, 2 for 18 in this World Series. Altuve at third, Pena at first. What a stop by Real Muto, man.
This is a spiked curveball that he plays goalie.
Even when he's not hitting, making an impact in this series.
Whew. Robertson's trying to spin that ball and start it at the mask of JT and have it just come down below the knees.
Ground ball to first. That's a fair ball. Hoskins knocks it down, and his only play is to tag Alvarez. Altuve in to score, and it's 3-1. Well, if he makes that play cleanly, he's either going to have Altuve at home or Altuve's going back to third. So Alvarez gets an RBI. Houston gets the insurance run.
Altuve is going to force the play either way because that means there's no double play, right? You're going to try to score that run and the ball just takes a wicked hop off his heel.
Bregman, strike one. Pena's into scoring position now. So Pena and Altuve 5 for 7 in this game. Rest of the lineup 2 for 21. But it's been enough when you combine it with the pitching. Bregman 1 for 2. Doubled off the very top of the wall back in the 4th inning. And an 0-1 pitch. 1-1.
Such a huge run to get that extra. When you play that 1-run game like they've been playing since the 4th inning, the run in the 8th makes it feel like a 4-run lead.
Especially got Montero and Presley still looming down in that Astros bullpen. 1-2 on Bregman. And with these ongoing struggles of the Phillies offense, they had the 7 home runs in game 3. They've scored 1 run in 2 games since. The 1-2 pitch. Bregman fouls it off. Barely able to stay alive.
Yep, I'm good. Nope, I'm good, brother. Yep.
Well, as you probably tuning in as the football game wraps up, Houston, this is going better than the football game. 3-1. Astros ahead of the Phillies, trying to take a 3-2 series lead. Top of the order, telling the story for the Astros offense. Altuve and Pena, 2 hitters into the game, had him in front. Pena then homered in the 4th. Altuve walked to begin this inning, came in to score the latest run. Bregman shoots one in the air down the line. Castellanos over. Does he have room? Not quite. And the Eagles, first time in franchise history, are 8-0, the lone unbeaten team in the NFL. That's been the case for a while. They remain so with a 29-17 win over the Texans in Houston tonight. Pena at second, 1 gone. Another 1-2 from Robertson. Another pick by Realmuto.
Robinson's throwing his breaking ball about as firm as I've seen it. I mean, really snapping. It just hasn't been enticing enough on the height of it to get a hitter to swing and miss at it.
And a guy who does not swing and miss very often up there on Bregman. Takes it for ball 3. Guy that's knocked in more runs than any third baseman in World Series history. 19 of them. He's in the World Series for the 4th time. 7th year in the majors. 4th trip to the World Series for Alex Bregman. And he says having more fun than ever in this trip.
He had one of the biggest hits of the series so far. That double right field off of Alvarado.
That 5-run 5th inning yesterday. 8th pitch here. That's it. Inside, and he takes the walk. One of very few guys the last few years with more walks than strikeouts, and he showed you how he accomplishes that. Great discipline, fouled off a few, and they're at first and second for Kyle Tucker. And Tucker, after hitting the 2 home runs in game 1, has struggled. 1 for 13 since. Gurriel's spot is due next, and Gurriel, a little collision on the base paths earlier. It looks like he's going to come out of the game. Trey Mancini's in the on-deck circle, ready to pinch hit for him.
There you go.
Another one of those veteran players that's been a part of all these trips to the World Series. 4 of them in 6 years. Just 1 championship, though, in 2017. There's no set definition of what a dynasty is, but no matter how you define dynasty, what's undeniable is the sustained excellence of these Astros. Down an 0-1. That's hit on a line to deep right field. Castellanos makes a running catch. And the elevation of his defense continues with a big grab there for out number 2.
Yeah, he's almost been flawless. Playing right field where Harper normally plays, but the injury has not allowed him to play out there at all.
To official now. Mancini's going to pinch hit for Gurriel. Hauls in an 0 for 17 postseason line. We're talking about the Astros and the legacy of this run. A second championship would go a long way in validating those that feel it's a dynasty. No matter your definition, it's hard to deny it if they can get a second title in 6 years. First and third, they lead game 5 3-1. Mancini fouls it off.
He actually looked a little better there, you know, sitting on the bench, coming off the bench. He's been jumpy and swinging off the plate. He got a breaking ball he could have done something with right there, but looked like he was a little bit more under control and staying back to hit that pitch.
He's got Pena at third and Bregman at first.
Ball no.
So backs up and misses 1-1. Dusty Baker would love to be playing Trey Mancini. It's just Mancini and Diaz both in that DH spot have given him nothing. So he went with the rookie Hensley tonight. It's Mancini off of the bench, pinch hitting for Yuli Gurriel. Running the bank in the 8th with 2 on and 2 out. There's strike 2. Robertson throws, runner goes, pitch outside. Into second goes Bregman. 2 on Mancini. Second and third now with 2 away. On a 2-2 pitch, Mancini takes ball 3.
Now, I said he looks more comfortable, but in a 3-2 count, does he get back to hitterish and expand the zone? You got to know which hitters will and won't take a walk. He hasn't shown he's been willing to take a walk.
Payoff pitch. Got him. Bottom falls out of that one from David Robertson. He limits the damage to 1. 3-1 Houston. Middle of the 8th in game 5. Football players to compete in free multiple derby competitions and swing their way to the 2023 All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. To find your local derby or host one for free, go to juniorhrd.com. That's jrhrd.com. Bottom of the 8th inning. 3-1 Astros in front. This best of 7 has become a best of 3. The Astros trying to lock this one down and get themselves within 1 win of winning it all.
Ball.
Rafael Montero, latest out of the pen for the Astros. Ball 1 on Nick Castellanos.
Well, the Astros, we talk about their bullpen, but really they've stepped it up the last 2 games. 1 run in their last 19 innings against Philadelphia, what seemingly was the best offensive team at home.
Ball.
Well, on paper, John, the reason that this was such a worry for the Phillies today was because of the pitching, because of the bullpen game. They've pitched pretty well. In a bullpen game, they've held the Astros to 3 runs. The biggest reason the Phillies are here is because they mash. But an offense that was averaging 7 runs a game at home prior to last night has scored 1 in the last 2 games. Can they wake up with just 6 outs left? 2-1 on Castellanos.
Well, they ran into a couple fastballs, even though Justin Verlander didn't have his greatest fastball tonight. Yesterday's fastball was just unhittable. And they battled Justin Verlander and almost got him to crack a couple times, but couldn't get that one knockout hit.
Montero handled the 8th inning of the no-hitter last night. Whips a 2-1 home. Bottom of the zone and 2-2. Castellanos saying that's the same pitch that you called a ball earlier in the at-bat.
And he's probably right.
It's a good pitch, but everybody just wants consistency, and he got some help from Martin Maldonado. He's never met a pitch that he didn't like as a strike. Castellanos starting the 8th, trying to get the tying run to the plate. 2-2. Full count. Remember that long at bat he had against Justin Verlander earlier in this game? Flied out. It went 10 pitches. It was only the 5th time all year Nick Castellanos has had a plate appearance last that long. You notice that he looks like he's locking in, seeing it better. Here's another deep count.
He is seeing it better.
Three-two. Well, there's how it stacked up prior to last night. Again, this is a team who set a World Series record with 5 home runs. And the first home game of this World Series, scored 7. That's what they'd average going into last night here. Only run the last 2 games, Kyle Schwarber's leadoff shot tonight. Another 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 on Castellanos, who's got a leadoff walk. Phillies get the tying run up there. In the form of Alec Bohm. First walk, by the way, for Nick Castellanos since the division series. So 38 plate appearances have gone by since. And now Bohm, who's 2 for 3 today. Tying run at the plate in the 8th inning. Bohm fouls it into the glove. He loves those high fastballs, but he misses this one.
And he got on top of one and got a hit. The Phillies have worked in, what, 5 walks in the game, uncharacteristically by Justin Verlander. But more importantly, the tying run at the plate.
Bohm will hit the first home run of his postseason career last night, or 2 nights ago. Swings and misses again at the high heat, and it's 0-2.
Well, looking forward, they want to tie the game up, obviously, as soon as they can, but they also need to get another base runner on, because that guarantees Bryce Harper comes to the plate.
Which everybody outside of Houston would love to see. The 0-2 pitch. That's been one of the fun things about this Phillies ride, is that it's like the baseball gods have schemed to make sure that Harper has found his way into the biggest moments. Some work to do to make it happen again. Castellanos, the leadoff walk. 1-2 to the plate. Down swinging. Montero sticks with the fastballs and strikes out Bohm. And it's Bryson Stott. 0 for 3 tonight. Hitless in this World Series at 0 for 13. Feels misleading, though.
Yeah, it does. He's had a lot of good at-bats, just hasn't been able to cash in.
Ball.
Just turned 25 years of age. The rookie shortstop handed the keys to the position late in the year. Tying run at the plate in the 8th. 1-0 pitch.
Ball.
Ball 2. He lays off a couple of juicy high fastballs.
That's a perfect count to keyhole one down the middle. And try to catch a gap between the outfielders.
Stott does have some pop. On 2-0. Takes ball 3. Segura's next. Nothing but hard stuff so far from Montero. 3-0 pitch. That's a full pitch walk. Tying run reaches. Go-ahead run comes up.
And just as important, minus a double play. That's what they needed for Harper to get up.
Now Montero, who's been used as heavily as anybody back to the regular season and right into the postseason. He's pitched in 10 of their 12 games. Not quite as sharp here. Ryan Presley is stirring.
I guess they still need one more guy.
Harper, the 4-hitter. You got the 8-hitter in the lineup coming up here.
Yeah, so they still need one.
Yep, you're right. Still do need to get one more base runner to guarantee Harper gets there. Hey, we want to extend a special thanks to our mobile unit engineers here in our compound in Philadelphia. Jack Pacala, Jay Evans, Nick Romano, their last World Series game after 19 years. Helping get the Fall Classic into your home. So job well done, career well done for you guys with us. Thank you so much. And best wishes to our good friend Chris Ober. Integral part of what we do here. Chris about to undergo a medical procedure once the World Series concludes, and we're thinking about you, buddy. We'll be praying for you. You're the best. Tying run aboard, go-ahead run at the plate, bottom of the 8th inning of Game 5. Gene Segura waiting his whole career for a moment like this. Takes a strike. The Phillies 0 for their last 20 with runners in scoring position. Segura cracks on the right center field and breaks the streak. Castellanos in to score. Stott to third. Clutch Gene comes through. It's a 3-2 game in the 8th. And it's the first run all postseason against the Houston bullpen scored in a way other than a home run. The first true rally against this pen. And it chases Rafael Montero from the game. Dusty Baker goes to his closer with 1 out in the 8th. Opposite in half, snapping an 0 for 20 for the Phillies with runners in scoring position with an opposite field base hit.
Went with the pitch. The inning started with a great at bat by Nick Castellanos with a walk and then another walk. Walks will haunt you anytime, and this crowd has not been sitting down for about an hour and a half. And they're looking to really explode if they can get this tie game or even take the lead.
Those seats, again, the most underutilized thing in Philadelphia. Ryan Presley, one tough customer, but trying to do something he's not done all year, and that is get 5 outs. Strike one on Marsh. Castellanos and Stott drew walks. Stott's now the man at third, representing the tying run. Shane Segura's at first. He's the go-ahead run. And it's Brandon Marsh, youngest player on this Phillies team. Newest player on this Phillies team. Out an 0-1 pitch. Fouls it off, and it's 0-2.
Well, Marsh has to find a way to get the shortest swing of his career, meaning you can't have a big swing now with 2 strikes. He's had 2 big swings, 2 foul balls. He has to find a way to put the ball in play and then either beat out a ground ball or find a way to get it in the air.
To pitch. Got him swinging. Ryan Presley for out number 2.
Hard cutter. Big swing. And he comes up empty. But the biggest swing to start off the game is Dusty. Loves that. Mr. Schwarber.
The guy that started it all tonight for the Phillies. Led off the game with a home run against Justin Verlander. Tying run 90 feet away. Go ahead run aboard. 2 out. Bottom of the 8th. Series tied at 2. Schwarber grounds the first pitch foul.
See, the one thing Schwarber knows when he goes up there, he's going to get a lot of cutting action into him, and then he's got to look for the top of the zone on that knuckle curveball that goes straight down. So if he sees it come out a little bit flat, cutting action, he'll know that's going to stay on an east-west plane. But if he gets the ball popping out of his hand, that means that big curveball is coming straight down.
The 0-1 in the dirt. Of course, so much on the shoulders of Martin Maldonado. Stott at third, Segura at first. A run in the bank in the 8th. Phillies within 1. Presley's 1-1. Schwarber swings and misses. 1-2.
That was the big breaking ball. He dropped to one knee trying to hit this one. This one actually faded away more than it went straight down. And Schwarber, man, looked like he was going to track that all the way in.
Time called and granted. The 1-2. Off of the bench for Gurriel, and Trey Mancini keeps the Astros in front.
Wow. Did he catch it or did the ball catch him? What a play. Oh my.
To finish off the 8th, the Phillies get one. 3-2 to the 9th in a Game 5 thriller. Schwarber put a good swing on it, but Trey Mancini, a nice defensive play to keep it a 3-2 game to the 9th inning. Zach Eflin on to pitch it. Bottom of the order for the Astros. It's a strike on David Hensley. And we were talking about it, John, as that 8th inning went on. Could they do enough there to guarantee that Harper gets up? And they just barely do. In the 9th inning, it'll be Hoskins, Real Muto, and Harper against Presley. It's Eflin's job to keep him in one swing at a time.
He's been nasty. He has been locked in ever since that 3-run homer he gave up to Olsen against the Atlanta Braves. And opposing hitters are 1 for 11 on his curveball this postseason. 6 strikeouts.
Here's his 0-2. Put in play. Eflin has no play. Infield hit David Hensley to start the top of the 9th. Well, the only reason that Trey Mancini was in the game to make that play is because Yuli Gurriel left with an injury. This is on the bases back in the 7th inning. Took a knee to the head, so Mancini pinch hits for him and is out there defensively. Makes his play in a hot shot down the line. If that's a fair ball, the Phillies don't just tie the game, they probably take the lead too. And in a World Series and in a postseason where Trey Mancini does not have a hit, finds a way to make an impact.
I'll say that'll cover a lot of offers, especially if they go on to win this game, and who knows, maybe the World Series.
Chas McCormick. Astros got a run in the 1st inning. They got a run in the 4th and a run in the 8th.
Well, coming into this series, coming into this game, Game 5, there were 3 individual innings where there was 1 run scored. You now have 5 in this game.
That's the only way that it's been in this game. Each of the first 4 games, one of the 2 teams led 5-0 at one point.
Ball
and a strike. You put all that together, those wild swings one way and the other. Series tied at 2, and total runs 18-17 in favor of the Astros. Eflin's 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Eflin, the 6th pitcher of the game for the Phillies. They've pieced it together, held the Astros to 3. The Astros have used 4 relievers after Justin Verlander. And the pen has given up just 1. A couple baseball lifers making the calls in this series. Dusty Baker and Rob Thompson. The 1-2 from Zach Eflin. Got him swinging.
He's so closed off. When the curveball starts into him, it almost jams him a little bit, and shaking his head, knowing that was a pitch possibly he could have done something with. But great break on that curveball. Already told you about how hard it is for hitters to square it up.
Maldonado, the man at first in, 1 away. Astros up 3-2 in the 9th. Joe's bunt takes a strike. The Astros heavy favorites in this World Series. 6 straight trips to the American League Championship Series. Won 106 games during the regular years, 1 shy of a franchise record. Crack bat bouncer that gets through the right side, and a base hit for Maldonado. Bottom of the order for the Astros, making noise here in the ninth. First and second for Altuve.
Well, those two hits, one a swinging bunt, the other a jam shot. They weren't hit hard, but they were hit perfectly in the right spot. Now, the guys that have done all the damage for the Astros are coming up with Altuve and Pena, responsible for all 3 runs.
And looking for what would be a back-breaking run. Eflin trying to keep it with one swing, could tie it. Altuve, 2 for 3. A walk and a couple runs scored.
At 0 RBIs and 0 home runs almost seems impossible in this postseason, the length that it's gone to get to this point.
As productive as he's been through the years in the postseason. 4th World Series, 4 more than 90 postseason games for Jose Altuve.
Ball out.
Outside, ball 1. His 31st multi-hit game in the postseason tonight. Ties it with Manny Ramirez, who's the only guy that's hit more home runs than he has in the postseason. He is the face of this dominant era of Astros baseball. For better or for worse. 1-1. Penzi at second, Maldonado at first. On a 1-1 pitch. Jose Altuve takes ball 2. Hard to believe, 12 years now, Jose Altuve. His career began as part of 3 straight teams that lost 106 games. He was there in the lowest of lows. Been there through all these great years, too.
Slider first pitch, sinker second pitch. Slider third pitch. Will he go with the sinker again, trying to catch the outside part of the plate?
Here it is on 2-1. Altuve bounces one to third. Bohm to the bag. 1 running throw in time. Alec Bohm, what a play! Sending this game to the bottom of the 9th. A 1-run game. Fasten those seatbelts. 2, 3, and 4 coming up after this gem from Alec Bohm. Phillies coming up for 1 swing to tie it. One of the guys headed to the plate will be Bryce Harper. Struggling mightily the last couple games, and tonight, John, these first 2 guys coming up are 0 for 8 with 6 Ks.
Yeah, they've had some tough pitches they weren't able to lay off, especially JT. But it only takes one. One mistake.
There's some debris on the field that they're clearing off. Ryan Presley has never had a 5-out save in the postseason. Only 1 during the regular season. So Hoskins, then Realmuto, then Harper. First pitch of the night. Hoskins pops it up, foul ground, out of play.
Each one of these hitters, much like that pitch, have had a pitch to hit, but then with 2 strikes, they start expanding the zone and get a pitch that's pretty nasty off the plate. And that's the key. You can't miss the 1 or 2 you might get against a tough pitcher.
Here's the 0-1. Fouled off, and it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes on Rhys Hoskins, leading off the 9th in a 1-run game. Fouls this one off. And these 3 games in Philadelphia, one of them was a party for the 46,000 as the Phillies cruised to a 7-0 win. Astros had as emphatic of a response as one could have. They no-hit the Phillies the next night. And now this nail-biter. Tight throughout. Another 0-2 pitch. Hoskins stays alive.
Pretty good job on those 2 pitches right there. Especially aggressive early in the strike zone and just looking to expand it now with 2 strikes. Pitch out of the strike zone right here.
Another 0-2. Taken in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Wow, you ever seen that?
It's weird.
Came all the way back to him.
Yeah. Like a pitch back. 1-2 on Hoskins. So much of the Phillies' identity this year has been built on coming back. On a 1-2, Hoskins down, swinging on a high fastball. 1 gone in the 9th.
High cutter after a bunch of breaking balls. And that one looked a lot firmer. As you see, he swings just underneath it.
Dusty Baker trying to navigate his way through this one. 5 innings from Justin Verlander, who's in position to win a World Series game for the first time. 4 relievers combining from there. Now it's Real Muto. The Game 1 hero has been silent since. He's struck out 3 times tonight. He's 1 for his last 16 with 11 strikeouts.
And when JT's right, he can go to right field. We saw the homer in Houston that he was able to get the winning run in Game 1. It seems like he's pulling off the ball just a little bit, trying to make something happen. And coming up empty so far.
On this 0-1, Real Muto takes in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
See, when you're a little bit open in your stance, eventually you're going to close a little bit to attack the baseball. And sometimes if you don't keep that front shoulder in there, you're basically trying to open back up to hit and pull the ball. He's best when he stays up the middle. Hit a mistake in, but go the other way.
Fly ball right center field. McCormick on the move. He's at the track. He's at the wall. Makes the grab. Chas McCormick. 2 gone in the 9th.
And that's exactly what JT almost did. He went the other way. That's the stroke. And this play right there, I mean, the degree of difficulty, and it's a double or triple, but JT stays on the ball, and it looks like for a moment that's going to be trouble. Unbelievable play for the Astros defense at first base and now in center field.
For the Philly kid who grew up coming to games here. 2 gone, and it's up to Bryce Harper. The stars aligning again. Presley throws. Harper takes a ball just outside.
And Harper's telling Maldonado it was out. No, I know the strike zone. I'm going to have this conversation all day with you. But that is a great first pitch. But doesn't get the call. Just a tick outside.
The 1-0 pitch. Ball 2 on Harper. Castellanos on deck.
We talked about the patience of Harper being tested in this series. 2 walks, then a double. Can he be patient on a 2-0 pitch here? Or let it fly?
Lets it fly and pulls a breaker foul. Strike 1.
Would have been ball 3, but he was looking at getting a new ball altogether and depositing it in the stands. Woo, what a moment here.
And the man made for it. It's proven time and again. On a 2-1 pitch in the bottom of the 9th. He got hit. And so the tying run reaches. And if you're Ryan Pressly, it's like, okay, I don't have to deal with Harper anymore. But now the winning run comes to the plate. And it's Nick Castellanos, who's looked better and better as this postseason has gone on, and especially tonight.
Absolutely. And the same approach really has to be the one that JT took. Think middle to right center, and if you get a hanging breaking ball, that natural swing will take you to left center and left field power. Certainly Nick has that.
Guy who hit 34 home runs last year, just 12 in his first year with the Phillies. That'll all be forgotten if he can come through here. Strike 1.
See, that was
old Nick.
Yeah. Well, just trying to make something happen early and pulling off of it. And that was 7-iron worthy.
Tying run at first, winning run at the plate. Phillies down to their last out. Castellanos pops it up down the line. Mancini racing back. Tucker on. It falls. And it's strike 2.
Pressly has been in these situations. He's been really good at putting hitters away when they get 2 strikes. Again, he swung at one down. You go straight back to that area off the plate, and just maybe you get him fishing. But you have 2 pitches to eliminate contact in this moment here with 2 outs in the 9th.
Clock strikes midnight here on the East Coast as Ryan Pressly looks for one more strike. His 0-2.
Ball no.
Taken down and away.
That's okay. You watch the hitter. Maldonado's going to see his reaction. Do it again if you want. That was the firmer version of it.
Lays off again, and the count evens 2-2.
And that was the slower one. So now he has options. 2-2, you'd like to see an action pitch. You don't want to get to 3-2 because then Harper can run. You can climb the ladder with that hard cutter, or you can stay disciplined on the outside plate, part of the plate, thinking that Nick will not stay back. Slowed him down. He could speed him up here with 2, surprise him and beat him to the barrel of the bat.
2 gone and 2 strikes. Pressly throws. The count goes full, and now the tying run gets a head start. Ryan Pressly having to dig deep. 19 pitches yesterday to finish that one off. 25 pitches here.
Yeah, that one was the changeup. And obviously the best pitch is the most committed pitch.
What does Ryan Pressly believe in? On a 3-2 pitch to Nick Castellanos. There he goes. Here it comes. A bouncing ball to short. Pena's there. Steps into the throw. Astros take game 5. In a thriller. 3-2 the final score. And 3-2 is the series as it goes back to Houston.
And Justin Verlander gets off the schneid.
In his 9th start in the World Series, he gets his first win. 5 innings, just 1 run. And Jeremy Pena, the star of the offensive show, knocking in 2 of the 3 runs for Houston. What a game.
Sure was. There were some great defensive plays by Houston, and none bigger than the 9th inning center field